Way! Hello, viewer. Today it is a Sunday. It is March the 12th, 2023. It is Oscars Day. Yay! I am Mr. Brown, and I trust you are all doing very, very well today. For Tim Hannabomb, I love you, Data. On this evening's stream /podcast, we are discussing the goings on this week in pop culture and on the social media. But before we begin, and it's a big but, you can find us here on the YouTube, or if you prefer your entertainment in the podcast form, we are also on Spotify. The links in the description. Spotify is doing surprisingly well at the moment. I can't believe it. So, if you've not shut down for the evening, as I always say, lots to get through. Shall we get the guest out? Of course we should. Here we go. First up, a talented powerhouse of a man. Just ask as... He, him is the governor of Twitter. It is Problem Being. Hello, Problem Being. Hello, Problem. Earth Calling Orson. Come in. Earth Calling Orson. Oh dear, I think Problem Being has shut down for the evening. Tell you what, we will get the next guest out, trying to remain professional. Probby. Next, new to the channel from the Split Screen Gaming Podcast, it is Vex Electronica. Hello there.
Hello, everyone.
This is going well, isn't it?
Yes. I will make up for the lack of energy that Problem Being is creating right now. I'm solving your problem.
I think he's on his back.
Wow. I see how it is.
You were quiet, dude. I gotta bring the energy to fill that gap.
Was I on mute? Oh,
yes.
No, that's embarrassing. I was like,
well, more embarrassing for me.
Really engaged. Oh my god. Okay. This is going really well.
It's okay. It's Oscars Sunday, so the energy is allowed to be off. Don't worry.
That's it.
It felt like this is one for you probably. It felt like the Brits Award with Sam Fox and
I remember that well, and I think that was probably the best duo ever.
Yeah, I will say then, Probby, how are you, my friend?
I am fine. I am here, and I am musing as we speak.
Not muted.
Musing, not muted. Yes.
And good to have you on, mate. And Vex Electronica, would you like to perhaps tell the folks at home where are you from? What do you do? What's your thing that you like doing?
I'm from Canada, so I am part of the British colonies. So
yes.
I, as default, fit in here.
Yes.
I started podcasting last year. I'm all over the place. I'm on YouTube as well. I'm starting a new podcast, which is the Split Screen, that's launching at the end of the month. So until then, I'm all over the place. Things I like to do. I like to play video games, I guess. There you go.
It is really great to have you on.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to be here.
And welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Shall we get the next guest out? Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
So here we go, folks. Watch out, War and Peace. It is the Star Wars novelist, don't you know? It is Swappers.
Well, hello everybody. War and Peace. War and Piss more like. We're still doing the urine jokes, yeah?
Yeah, we're still doing that. Okay. Are you well, my friend?
Good. Oh, can't complain. I had a massive meal earlier on, and I'm farting like a trooper because I've had so many vegetables. Luckily, you're only getting the audio of my voice and not anything else. So, if anything,
As long as you get your fibre.
if anything gets particularly bad, I'll mute the mic. So if I go silent, you know what's happening. Sprouts, not even once, kid.
Oh no.
Oh no, not sprouts. Oh my god.
Just don't piss on the desk, for God's sake, please.
No, I did. I've got that out of the way already before the show started. I'm still mopping it up with my sleeve.
I'm still in shock.
Great to have you on, mate. Shall we get the final guest? He's looking
God,
very,
please do.
Yes, very irritated, like he's running out of patience. Okay, here we go. And last, but by no means least, he is the purveyor of meh entertainment. It is old blue boy himself. It is the movie cynic.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello there. How are you, my friend?
Good. The Batman was not nominated for cinematography.
What?
Fuck out of here.
Good.
Not for cinematography, at least. Fuck off.
Fuck that movie. No.
Even
good.
cinematographers are saying that, like, it's shocker. And I'm getting right into the Batman, okay?
Cinematography for blind people because it's dark.
Batman?
Don't they have
The
a
Northman should have
darker
been
and
nominated for cinematography. I'm blown that they didn't get any nominations for anything.
What movie?
Cool.
The Northman.
Who gives a shit?
So, are you well, movie? How's the channel going? Going great, isn't it?
Yeah, everything's going awesome. I'm good. I'm happy. Woo!
Good man. Should we just get on with it? Lots to do yet.
Let's do it.
Okay, so here we go. End of week musings, Sunday, March the 12th, 2023, episode 126. If you have made it this far and you're enjoying this semi-professional, whatever it is, please like, share, and subscribe. Every single click will help this channel grow, and it does.
Oh, we're getting right into it.
Okay, I think we're getting to the end of the is it the last one tonight?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Season premieres or season finales tonight.
Vex, have you been watching this?
I have, yes, and I've been reviewing it every single week as well.
And are you liking it? What are your thoughts? Oh.
Okay, honestly, it's more from a creative standpoint that I have issues with it. And less, creative issues. There we go.
What are those issues?
Have you guys played the game or watched the gameplay at all for the?
Yeah,
okay. So the big issue I have with this is it doesn't seem like the series runner knows what he's doing and how to actually put together a good story, because instead of actually getting us to care about our two main characters, Joel and Ellie, it feels like we've gotten a bunch of these filler stories for characters that we'll never see again. And honestly, up until literally the last 2 minutes of the last episode, I didn't give a flying fuck about Ellie. Didn't care what happened to her.
which is completely the opposite to the game.
Exactly. Because they developed this beautiful father-daughter relationship throughout the course of the game, and you got to see Ellie go from this really shy, meek girl into kind of this foul-mouthed teen that you see in the show. But instead, they forwent most of that and tried to make her into this weird, bloodthirsty, badass girl. And then you don't see any sort of relationship really form between her and Joel. And the 2.5 episodes where we had character flashbacks or whatnot would have been a prime opportunity for them to actually explore that relationship deeper and make us connect to these characters even more. But they chose not to do that.
You can't have a father figure being a father figure and her becoming who she is through him. She has to do it independently of him these days. That's the modern Hollywood way, isn't it?
It just doesn't make for good storytelling. That's I think it's really disappointing, because there's a really good opportunity to make a much better story here through television, because there's a little more you can do compared to a game, right? And they just completely they fucked up. They messed it up from the beginning, and it's really disappointing.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's just potentially just obviously it's series 1, so it's always kind of like the first series nerves, or do you really think they've just properly messed it up?
Oh, they've properly messed it up. Because here's the other thing, too, is now we've more or less covered most of the first game now. So
Right.
there's no way for them to really... I mean, who knows what they're going to do in this last episode, but this last episode is also the second shortest of the entire season, by the way,
What?
only 43 minutes.
For a final?
So,
Wow.
yeah, so who knows what they're going to do, but they're going to try and conclude more or less the first game and jump straight into the second game, because we've also kind of got some inklings of, you know, things that are going to happen in the second season. They easily could have drawn out the first game over 2.5 seasons, like, properly, in my opinion.
Right.
MJ UK84 says it takes 3 seasons because Amazon Prime told us this.
I like this show.
I gave up.
Oh, did you get?
I gave up watching.
Oh,
it.
so you actually gave up? Probably you actually started watching it then, yeah?
I gave up after Hotel California, and I heard that the next one was just her messing around in the shopping mall with the obligatory lesbian relationship, and I was just like, I can't sit through that. I just can't. I'm kind of a bit lesbianed out at the moment. I think that, you know, it's just only so much you can take with all the shoehorning. And look, you know, it's fine, but it's just so tick boxy, and it doesn't. To me, it doesn't seem to mean anything. So I'm just kind of like, yeah. And when I heard that they had deliberately done this, like, we knew that anyway. But when they actually come out and say that, that really just smacks to me of don't give a shit. You know, they really do not care about the story. It's about having these sort of facile characters that are just there to promote a certain message. And it's like, we get the message. Gay people exist. I'm happy
apparently only gay people exist in the apocalypse.
Yeah, exactly. And they have to be communists, you know.
Yeah.
Here you go, folks. The chat, yeah. M-Juke, hello, M-Juke. Ellie's gay.
Yep.
I'll just quickly super chat that. Postman, $2. Thank you, sir. Abby's dad saved a zebra. And then
I understand.
Goes,
I understand she is gay, but you know,
gay, by the way.
Yeah.
I like this show, and I never played the game, so I can't. I mean, I played it like 10 years ago, one time when it first came out. I'm a person that was a gamer his entire life, but I don't give a fuck about video game stories. I think they are shit. I do not think video games are the next fucking area where stories are going to go. I don't think movies are going to go away. I don't think like everything's going to shift to video games and be an interactive story, because I think they suck at telling stories. I was never invested in any video game story ever. So I'm coming into this as just a person trying to watch a show, not really concerned with the adaptation quality. And I think I realize that Sonic the Hedgehog is obviously a very different genre in this, but it's a video game movie, right? And it's relatively well accepted. And so like that movie showed that you cannot, it's pointless trying to completely adapt something. It just is, because it doesn't always translate at all. I don't care. I don't give a shit how cinematic a video game is. It's not always going to translate over. So as a person just watching the show with literally zero, like, I don't care whatsoever. I have nothing invested in this. I really enjoyed this show because I can't compare like how the quality of Ellie and Joel's relationship in the show to the game. And I remember I skipped so much in the game because I was like, I don't care. I just want to play the game. And I like Pedro Pascal. I understand all of the, the shoehorning and all that stuff. We talk about this with so many things that we criticize. And I stay with the thought that it's not necessary. I don't care about that you're interjecting it. It's that it's pervasive and it's in everything, and every single production thinks they're the first one to do it for some reason. And it's just like pervasive in culture now. And so it does get old. But in this one in particular, like episode 3 with the gay couple, Nick Offerman was phenomenal in that. And that's actually like legitimately one of my favorite episodes, because I was actually really invested in those characters.
It's because
I understand
they
there's
weren't
side characters. What's that? If they were lesbians, I'd be even more invested.
Well, who wouldn't?
Hold on. They were underage lesbians, though, so pump the brakes a little bit.
No, episode 3 was the Nick Offerman gay couple story, right? So
Yes.
if they were like a couple adult females going at it, I'm like, woohoo, don't die, I'm sad. But I've liked it. I didn't like episode 7 was the only one I didn't like. And that was like definitely felt like a filler episode. And there was no emotional resonance to even give me a reason to care. But otherwise, I've really enjoyed the show as just a person with nothing invested and
You
just
wouldn't
going
have watched
in.
it, would you?
The only reason I watched it was
Yeah,
because
there you go.
I
Plug
was
everybody.
required to for open bar. And then I was like,
nice
I really
plug.
like this.
Okay. Here you go, Blue Man. Question from MG.
Yeah, they
Case for-
alluded that to like right off the bat in the show. So
Well, why wouldn't you take the opportunity to develop that slowly over, let's say, 3 seasons? Not just boom, I'm a lesbian. Wow.
Right.
There's no revelation with that. You know, you might intimate that at the start of the previous episode and let it grow throughout, but it's taking up too much time in one season, in one episode. Better to actually develop that character and that relationship over a longer period of time, over a series or 2.
Yeah, I do wish they split this into 2 seasons, I feel. Yeah.
It definitely feels like they crammed a lot into this first season that, it could have been drawn out. Even if you take the game comparison aside, it just doesn't feel like they've explored these characters properly for us as the viewer to actually care about what happens to them. That's the big issue I find with it personally.
Is it because if the producers said, okay, you've got 2 series, they would have done that?
I wish they had.
Yeah, they should have done.
I think they knew this was going to be a good one, though, to be fair. It's The Last of Us.
Yeah. And guys, like, we always talk about how studios kind of come out and defend themselves when there's a shitty product, and then but we realize that the audience does mostly agree with us because it's depleting or the box office drops. More and more people are watching this every week, so honestly more and more people agree with me. It's like most people are genuinely enjoying it. So now that I saw it, like, I text some friends, and what I've found is that people who did play the game don't particularly like it, and people who did not do. At least I know it's anecdotal, but that's just, you know, from my experience, that's what I've discovered so far.
Swaps, did I ask you if you're watching this?
No, you didn't, but I'm not watching it.
Right. Are you like me, kind of zombied out?
Well, to a degree. I mean, I gave up on The Walking Dead. I thought it was going to go somewhere, and then it just ended up just recycling the same stuff, and it was no end in sight. And I just thought, I can't take any more of this depression. And then when this came out, I just thought, oh, this looks like just like The Walking Dead repackaged. Oh God! And I've played.
Can we have something less desolation and more fun, maybe? I don't know.
Well, add something to it at least, you know. But I mean, I played the game, and it's fine in game form because you know we haven't had many Walking Dead games by the time The Last of Us came out. And the original game was awesome. The narrative of it was incredible. The graphics were amazing. You know, it was kind of survival horror-ish action kind of game. That's my kind of thing. I love that. A bit kind of Tomb Raider-y as well, I suppose.
Yeah.
Which all works very well in the realms of interaction. But when you put it on a TV, you know, I'm just sitting there just twiddling my fingers thinking I could just go and play the game again. And it'd be far more authentic, far more compelling, a lot better. In fact, I'll just put YouTube on and watch the cutscenes instead. How about that?
Okay, last episode tonight, isn't it? Is it coincidence that they did it the same night as the Oscars, or
no? They've been doing Sundays. Yeah, they've been doing Sundays anyway. The only one they moved it for was when the Super Bowl hit.
Right.
Yeah,
that was going to really suck up some audiences.
We'll give the final word to Tim. I like saying this, Hannabom. Let's not get bogged down. Okay.
Tim always keeping us on the straight and narrow.
Yeah. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah.
We've already discussed this week, but Mandalorian. Who's watching Mandalorian?
Yes.
No.
I did, unfortunately.
Swappers, do you want to go first, mate?
No. But I will. I will. Anyway, you are so nicely. I'm honestly, the first 2 seasons, I acknowledged how dumb it was, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, so
probably the best kind of anything that Disney had released, really, other than Rogue One. And I was kind of thinking, wow, so it doesn't entirely suck, you know. And I was excited for season 3 at the end of season 2. And then there was a lot of crappy politics happening in between. And I thought, that's it, I'm done. I'm not watching this anymore. And for this channel, I've been watching it.
It took one for the team.
Start of season 3, yeah. How many episodes are we on now? 2 or 3? I can't remember.
3 this Wednesday, yeah.
Oh, third one's about to release, right? Okay. So, yeah, again, you know, I watched it thinking, just maybe they'll buck their ideas up with the writing, and it'll be a little bit more compelling, a little bit more intelligent. Unfortunately, in reality, it went in completely the opposite direction. So we're now watching something. It's like got dumber by the season. So we're now watching the 3rd dumbest season of the show. And like last week when we did our commentary on it, we did our critique, didn't we? Our group critique,
which was better than the episode, to be fair. But
yeah, absolutely, I love that. 2 hours, genuine fun, ripping that show a new one. And you know, as far as that's concerned, I take my hat off to the show to give us material and allow me to have a midweek big laugh with a load of my mates. So that's great. Otherwise, that wouldn't happen. So well done, Jon Favreau. High five, mate. But the show itself, that's as concisely as I can put it.
Yeah, as we said, something's going on. Serious drop off with the quality of the scripts. Did you say you'd watched it, movie?
I did. I didn't mind the first 2 seasons. Again, I kind of like I came into Mandalorian the kind of the same way I did Last of Us, because it's just I'm not a massive Star Wars fan, so just watching it as a casual, and it was kind of dumb and kind of fun, and you know, bit into the nostalgia of the season 2 finale with Luke and stuff. But this is dog shit. Like these two episodes that are out so far, legitimately, it's like they didn't have a story. What is even happening? It's the most boring, bland shit that you could ask for. It's visually pleasing. It's really beautiful.
Great.
It looks way better than like Obi-Wan Kenobi did. That show looked like ass. But this one at least looks nice. That's all I can give it credit for. That's it. It looks good.
It's the reason for the story, though. That it's like The Last of Us, isn't it? Last of Us is based on an existing video game narrative, while this one is kind of attempting to create a video game narrative because you can't think of anything good enough for a show.
It exists because it must, because they need Star Wars. That's all.
Content.
Probby, did you say you were watching this or not? I can't remember. I'm old.
No, I made a decision after they sacked Gina Carano that I wasn't going to watch it, and I wasn't going to watch any Star Wars. Yep, and I stuck to it, so that's it.
Take that, bitch.
End of story.
That's probably when the Mandalorian ended, but never mind. Vex, not your thing, is it?
I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I do enjoy the little Baby Yoda compilations because I do think he's kind of cute for whatever he is. That's about it.
That's what they want too.
Oh yes.
I won't watch the show. I'll just watch the compilation clips on YouTube. That's it.
As I said on the Wednesday stream, something is going on because Favreau is a good writer. I can't believe how appalling the first 2 episodes are. So
is it because of the fact that my thought was I didn't watch Book of Boba Fett because everyone told me it was terrible, like don't even bother. But I was also informed that the episodes, Mahler told me that the episodes like in the middle it was just Mandalorian, and he's like he told me that you can even tell the difference between the production qualities. Like the Mandalorian episodes look incredible, so it almost seemed like to prop up Book of Boba Fett, they put the more popular character into his show, and it actually like completely disrupted this series, because apparently like those ones were the only reasonably decent episodes of Book of Boba Fett, and it just derailed this one because that should have been the beginning of this series.
Maybe these, because they kind of effectively stole the good episodes.
Yeah,
they had to fill them with in inverted commas, crappy bottle episodes. I don't know.
And they're like, hey, just make it look really pretty, and at least, maybe we can get away with it.
Here you go, folks. Melvin Deeply asking the tough questions. Is Grogu male or female?
How dare you assume
Non-binary.
one of its genders?
One of its many, many, many thousands of genders.
It has so many
That
genders.
changes daily.
You can't ask that yet because he hasn't
Grogu's-
made his mind up. He has to be up to the child to make his own mind up.
There you go. He's not 4 years old
Yeah.
yet, right?
Right. You always got to trust 4-year-olds when it comes to their gender.
No, he's 50, so...
Oh,
Yeah,
And he still can't
Don't
talk?
rush in. Don't
What's
rush in.
wrong with him?
Robbie.
is it studio interference? Is that why this third season is? Because I know there's a lot going on in the background with Disney and Kathleen Kennedy,
It's
and
Kathleen
now,
Kennedy, yeah, I think.
yeah. So is that maybe what's influencing how all of this has been turning out now with season 3?
Yes. As I said, Favreau's a great writer. He's wrote some great episodes, and it's got to be interference. Yeah, it's got to be interference. Because if there's a man who could do good Star Wars, I'd probably say it's him. But I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, because from what I hear, he killed it with that first season, right? So, and he's shown that he can do because he wrote Iron Man 1 too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, did he write it?
He directed it, but the thing is, with Iron Man 1, it was kind of like a group effort of people all chipping in. I assume
Gotcha.
the screenwriters, I think we talked about this the other day, the screenwriters wrote it, but Downey Jr. just improvised most of his what he said. So
there was creative freedom there. Is
yeah,
the difference maybe?
yeah. So something's going on. I'm sure we'll find out eventually. But super chat from Hostman Socktrees for $5.
I think you missed another one of his. Didn't
No,
you?
I did it.
Oh, you did it.
Oh, did I?
I?
I can't keep up. Okay, I've started anyway. So, okay, this show disgraces the Sons of Mandalore. Also, look up the vid of Baby Yoda getting shot.
What?
Wow.
Damn.
Was this the one?
Wow.
I'm sure I did this.
No, it was the one where he said I was.
Oh, is it another
based."
one? I can't keep up.
Yeah.
Bear with me.
Yeah.
I'm going
No,
to
you can't.
scroll.
You can't ever
Oscar
keep it
Sunday
up,
energy.
Tim Brown.
It's dragging us all down.
Ugh.
There you go.
My God.
No one's watching that shit.
It's another
No.
fiver one. It's a. I can
I
see
think
it
it's-
here. I can read it if you want.
Yeah, go on.
It
It's
says,
disappeared off
"Whatever
mine. It's
happened
disappeared
to-
off mine.
Ah. It says whatever happened to normal platonic relationships between teenage girls. Also, probably is based. Boosh.
It's
Boosh.
got
I
me
even did the
back to
thing with the
rights.
fingers. Yeah. The
Sorry,
tongue,
Hostman. It disappeared off my feed, so apologies for that, my friend. Shall we move on?
Sure.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye.
That bad, eh?
Wow. Wow.
Probably, you want to go first, mate?
I hadn't watched season 1 and 2, and I was pretty reticent that I was not going to watch it. But then I heard good things, and that you didn't need to watch season 1 and 2 to get into this. So I relented. And I was pleasantly surprised with the first 2 or 3 episodes. I was like, yeah, this is really good, actually. I mean, Jack Crusher is a bit hammy.
A little bit,
and
yeah.
there were a few issues that I did have with it. And I didn't know who that actor was from the one with Worf. When Worf turned up, he was really, really fantastic. And he looks great with the silver hair, I have to say. That was really good. And then episode 4 happened, and I was floored. I thought this was phenomenal. It was like, wow, this is proper Star Trek. and it looked really great. It was very cinematic. I was quite emotional throughout this story because it was so intense and focused. The writing was tight. The performances were on point. Picard was Picard. The relationship with the characters on the deck and behind the scenes and all the sort of drama going on there was very, very well played and very well thought out. The scenes on the holodeck particularly were exquisite, and I thought that the Captain Shaw with his little scene was absolutely incredible. Like he deserves big time things coming his way. He was really, really good. That whole story and the look on Picard's face, owning that horrible situation and being reminded of like this really traumatic thing was a tour de force. I thought it was fantastic. And I don't give out praise very easily for things. And there are probably undoubtedly people who will not like Kurtzman Trek because Kurtzman, but this really wasn't Kurtzman at all. There was no hallmark of his other than the sort of very superficial, like the particular sets and whatnot. But I thought this episode was an absolute banger. I was really, really pleased with it.
Here you go, Movie Cynic from Tim Hannenbaum. Movie Cynic, do a Picard voice.
Do a Picard voice. I don't even watch Star Trek. What do they sound like?
Very British.
I just assumed they were retarded. So
I love you.
Well, that's British. Yes.
I love you, Data.
Engage.
Make it so.
Engage. Make it so.
Swappers, you're watching this.
I am watching it. Like probably I hadn't seen the first 2 seasons, and I just heard horrendous things about them, and I wasn't surprised. Yeah. So my view of Star Trek is still untainted from back when The Next Generation finished, and I didn't pay attention to any of the J.J. Abrams movies because J.J. Abrams. But these 4 episodes so far, I have not been able to fault them, other than the occasional strange F word or S word or whatever, and really
the
out
swearing
of place.
was not good.
10
Does not need to be in there at all. It's bizarre.
10
Absolutely
fucking
bizarre.
hours, yeah.
But all the things that make it good completely eclipse the nitpicks, and it does not detract from the show in any significant way. And the show's like what, 45 minutes, something like that, I think.
No, they're actually we've nearly got 55-minute episodes, which is quite rare.
It flew by. The last Wednesdays flew by, and I sat down to watch it, and I was excited because the previous 3 episodes has been so good. And before I knew it, it was over, and I was desperate for another one. And I just thought, well, there you go. That's the mark of a great TV show, isn't it? That's the mark of great writing, completely immersive experience. And they've made something that would, in lesser hands, be completely unbelievable, be completely absorbing and credible. And it's just like saying Star Trek is back again. You might as well say it, because it is with this show. Forget everything that's come before from Kurtzman Trek and everything. With this show alone, they're on the same quality, I think, as Next Gen era TV episodes and the writing from that era. This is better than any of the movies we've had since the Next Gen series finished, including First Contact. Agree, yeah. I really love First Contact. So, just to take my hat off to Terry Matalis and everybody involved. Just awesome.
And they did it on a shoestring budget as well.
You'd never know it, would you? Because the effects are... There's no other way to say it. They're just perfect. I cannot fault them. The only thing I can fault with the effects is they tend to use the same corridor an awful lot.
Yeah. Same set.
Yeah. But apart from that, I'm absolutely okay with it. And I really, really hope that Matalis does something after this with Trek, because I'll tell you what, in his hands going forward, they could really have something.
Well,
he's really engaged with the he's really engaged with the fans. He's been on people's streams in the chat, and answering questions.
Yeah,
I think
I
that's
briefly had an interaction with him on
fantastic.
Twitter after the first episode,
wow.
or second episode, I think it was, and so he's not adverse to like just having a quick, backwards and forwards. I mean, obviously he's a busy guy, so I didn't expect like a half an hour conversation with him, but he did acknowledge me. So and I told him, well done for doing such a great effort on the show. You've actually made me look forward to something again. With pop culture entertainment, you've done an incredible job. So I had to let him know straight away.
I would say to Vex, if you were just to watch this as just a piece of entertainment, I think you would recognise just how good this is.
Yeah, I think so.
Even if you've never watched Star Trek or not into Star Trek, I think you would just realise this is good television, and we've not had good television for a long, long time.
Yeah, if you need something to watch during the week, it's like to fill an hour or so of entertainment. There's a little bit of a gap in the schedule. Then you can do a lot worse than this.
Okay, I'm not I don't have a preference to a specific genre or fandom or whatever. If there's good writing and good characters, I can appreciate it. Doesn't matter what it falls under. So I'll check it out then.
Yeah,
I like Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, you obviously know what you're talking about, so I think you would see this as a great. You would see
Thank
this
you.
as
I thought I was
great...
just full of shit.
No, well, we all are, aren't we? When you
So
think
are we. Don't worry.
we all are. We all are. Here you go, Franco Walker. I'll give it a shot then. Yes.
Yay! You won't regret it. You won't.
I don't even think you need to...
I'm very pinickety. Sorry.
I don't even think you would have need to have seen any Star Trek before, because the way it's scripted and the way the story is just so you would get it. You'd get what's going on and what's happened in the past.
It sounds like they almost started with a fresh slate with this then.
I think they have.
Because I heard the first 2 seasons were horrible when those first came out. That's why.
Yeah, you don't need to see
Offensive.
any of that crap before you watch this. It stands alone completely.
Okay. All right, it's added to the list. I got a week off now. Yeah. I got no shows to watch. Actually, I have Ted Lasso. There we go. That's it for now.
That's just started, hasn't it? Ted Lasso. Okay. None of us... Has anybody watched Ted Lasso on the panel? I know Z3PO's into it. I don't think any of us have watched it, have we?
I love Ted Lasso. My camera is all fucky, so it'll probably be back, but I'm not going to sit here and not be on the show and not participate. So
thanks for leaving me as the only person with the camera on.
I can turn my laptop camera on, but it looks like shit. So
it's all good, my friend.
I'll mess with it again soon. I'll be back, I swear, at least visually, but I'm here vocally.
You got some love there, Vex. You got some love.
Yeah, here you go. Look, from Genitalia. I love you, Vex.
I love your genitalia as well.
I think some of the chaps at the beginning of the stream were really appreciative of you, I think.
Oh, thank you guys. Again, I really just think I'm full of shit. So thank you.
Well, we all are. I think maybe that's what it is. Anyway, okay. Shall we move on? We're loving Picard. I cannot wait for episode 5. Cannot wait.
Yep, same. Apparently it's even better, so that's...
I don't get to be on camera for this.
Try.
We're gonna argue, so I want you to see me argue.
The emotion.
With you. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Damn it.
Here we go.
Okay.
Strap in, everyone.
Strap in. Here we go. The Movie Cynic recommends out the Movie Cynic. So, Blue Man, what is in your box of tricks today?
You know, hang on. Before I say
he's gotta try.
This is what I'm doing. No, I'm putting on the shitty camera.
Okay.
So that I'm just doing it. Hang on. It's gonna look like shit, guys, but I don't care.
It's all right. We'll edit this out later. Don't worry.
Put some interlude music on.
Keep it going, guys. Almost there. So that's what she said. This bitch isn't gonna work. All right, fuck it. Go ahead, Brownie.
That's what she said.
Just go ahead, Brownie. The movie
No waiting for you, knobhead.
recommendation. Oh, right. Movie recommendation today from me is The Whale.
Da-na.
Look how hot he is.
Oh yeah, baby.
Okay. All right, so everyone knows
Excellent.
about this
Whale.
movie. There's
Whale
no
meat.
there's no explanation needed as far as the plot of this movie. I am recommending this movie for a couple of reasons. For one, Brendan Fraser is extraordinary in it. He is just as far as story, plot, whatever reason you go see movies, go see it for his performance. There are a lot of fucking problems with this movie, a lot, and it's.
Oh, really?
I'm recommending it because of his performance, but also because of the message.
Oh, fuck.
But think of it this way. The opposite message is always, oh, you're body shaming everyone who's obese. And it's like, yeah, good. We should bring back bullying. The fact of the matter is there are a couple scenes where it's like, I was questioning, like, this is definitely a little overboard, but it's very realistic as far as things I've seen in my life. So I think everyone should go watch this. And I live in America, where they estimate by 2040, every 70% of the country isn't just going to be overweight. They're going to be fucking obese. So I want everyone to go see this. I want everyone to feel really ashamed. I want everyone to go to the gym and fix their nutrition. And it's all going to be because Brendan Fraser is incredible and is going to convince you to not be fat. So that's why I'm recommending this movie.
Here you go, folks. Not Brian in the chat. Brendan Fraser had to slim down for this role.
Wow.
That's harsh. Man still couldn't stand even then.
Oh, my goodness.
Brendan Fraser has had plenty of personal pain, as it were, hasn't he, over his life?
He has, yeah. And what's interesting too is I remember reading an article of him saying that, like, to research the project, he had a real heart-to-heart conversation with his son, who is obese. So I found that pretty interesting, and I just loved watching the reactions of, like, the fucking body positivity whales freaking the fuck out because, like, they actually made a movie where they shined a light on someone who's, like, grotesquely overweight and kind of put the spotlight on him. And I actually really like, I didn't think it was super exploitive or anything like that.
No.
Like a couple scenes, yes, but in reality, because he grounds the character so much, it's not like you're sitting there staring at him and being like, oh, I hate this human being because he's big or whatever. It's like, no, you genuinely feel bad for him and you wish that things could change for him. And that's what I'm saying. Bring back bullying because I care about you.
So this
I'm
is
going to bully you.
It's tough love, then. What you're saying is...
Tough love.
You know what?
Yes.
So this is a fat exploitation movie.
Yeah. Melvin Deeply says, Google tells me that 73% of Americans are overweight or obese. You are 100% correct, sir. However, it's 50%
Melvin,
currently that's obese. So, and they estimate by 2040, it'll be 70% who are just straight up obese.
Just
not
to follow
overweight.
that question up from Melvin, how many of those will be, how many of them are pronouns as well? Will have pronouns?
Well, you're just talking
All
about
of
people
them.
who want to take absolutely zero accountability for themselves whatsoever. You're living in a victimhood mentality society where victimhood is currency. So of course, like, it's why I'm digesting 4,000 fucking calories a day when I only need 1,400. It's not that at all why I'm obese. It's because I was just fucking born this way. It's
Can
just
you imagine
absurd.
their love life? Can you imagine their love
No,
life?
they don't have
Reach
one.
me, baby.
I'm sorry.
And
Vex.
and the reason why I'm so passionate about this too is just because, like, on a personal level, I was born with a fused disc in my neck and I have an aneurysm in my heart, and I still go to the gym 5 days a week. I've body built before. It's all my nutrition's on point, and anyone who makes an excuse to not go do those things, I have zero sympathy for, and I would love to bully people. So go see it.
Should
Okay,
we
I'm
end the
done
stream
now.
there?
No, I'm on
passionate
board.
about
Fat
this.
shame
This has been a
people.
public. This has been a public announcement video.
This is a public
I will
service
say
announcement
to be-
recommendation.
I will say, look, to be fair, right, to play, you've got to do it for yourself.
100%.
That's when people realise
Or
that.
pay someone else to do it for you.
Yeah, well, possibly. I know it's a hot topic, this, but
It is a hot topic, and I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. This is what I'm going to recommend. This is what I'm going to say.
yeah, you just feel better about yourself. I suppose it's easier just to say no and fuck it. You know.
That just goes back
That's-
to the accountability thing, though, right? Like, this
Yeah.
is what happens when you stop taking just a basic accountability for yourself. You end up like this fat fuck here.
And that's the thing. That's what I mean. Like, I'm joking about the bullying, but in reality, like, it is love. Like,
Yeah,
I love everyone. I want you all to be happy, and I want you to understand, like, accountability is required for that, you know. But
Poe, he's actually gay. He's a gay white male who's obese in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he is in that
We
movie.
learn that in
Yeah.
the first 3 minutes when we see him trying to lift his fat flap to jerk off to gay porn.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. And then he basically has I guess maybe like a stroke or something, because we find out his blood
Literally.
pressure a few minutes after that.
Yeah,
But
it's like
yeah.
having a
Several
like,
strokes.
almost a heart attack from
Yeah.
masturbating.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world.
You gotta get to the gym then, dude, if that's your case.
Oh,
Stream
okay.
killer. Stream killer. As I said, Brendan Fraser has had a lot of personal tragedy, and you know, I can't blame him for just basically giving up. 'Cause
No, and
he's been through the wars. Yeah.
yeah, and I really genuinely, on a film level, his performance is outstanding. And I really do hope
Yeah.
that he wins tonight because
Mhm.
you know, regardless of the controversy around it, whether you're body positivity or like me, where I'm like, hey, I actually think this movie might be good for people to see. His performance is riveting, unparalleled this year. Fantastic.
Just
In-
reading the chat.
I know. Here we go. In the chat, you guys can count. Mr. Brown's world, pretty dark there. Maybe I should turn. Maybe I'll turn the light. Maybe I'll turn the lights on in future. Reniel, wow, great mental pick, Brown. Spew. You're all a set of bastards. You know what they are. Okay, is he going to win the Oscar? I think he is. It's
I
a
do
shoe-in.
I think so,
he's gonna
yeah.
win
He
the
looked
Oscar
prim and
tonight.
proper tonight on the picture I saw. Yes, he should win
You
it.
didn't do the best one.
Go on,
Yeah,
which
there's-
one? Bayou, go on. Who was it?
Hostman Socrates.
Was it? Oh, I gotta
I
check
don't
it out.
want to
Where
die
is that, guys?
wanking. That's my worst nightmare.
You go off on a high note, though.
Yeah, I thought
Imagine being found that way.
By your mother. Your
I
mother
thought
finds you.
yesterday was
Oh,
fun, man. Today's already funner than yesterday.
Hostman, you're very, very
Oh,
dark.
great.
I thought I was dark. You naughty little Hostman. Okay, so
dear.
I think with everything that's gone on with Brendan Fraser, it will be a delight that he wins, yes.
Oh.
I hope it does. Yeah. Next,
Oh.
something's going on.
Sorry,
Oh.
I just wanted to stand up to adjust my light, that's all.
She
Okay.
was
It's a little
dying
bright now.
wanking.
All that scissoring from The Last of Us just really got me going on top of that.
Oh shit!
Okay, so we'll move on before we kill the channel. Anybody see this? Star Trek have been. I would say that they're on kind of a high, Paramount, because they know Picard is doing very, very well at the moment. So the kind of publicity machine is kicking in a little bit. But you don't advertise Star Trek without Captain Kirk.
Nope.
And there's been a little bit of annoyance from some people. Yes. Probably. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think this there has been a consistent, desperate sort of need from Paramount to want to distance themselves from the great William Shatner.
Great man. Yeah.
And I just think it's political. I do.
Yeah.
I think as well his spat with George Takei, they tend to favour George Takei.
Wait, what was the issue he had with George Takei?
What issues weren't there?
They don't like each other. They hate each other.
Really?
Yeah, he's based, and George Takei is just, you know, as woke as it gets. So yeah, I think that's probably where it stems from. You know, ally versus sanity.
Yeah.
I just think it's sad. It's sad. You know, the man deserves greatness and to be celebrated. He's in his 90s. We haven't got him for too much longer.
And he's
although
been to
I hate to
space.
think about it. And he's been to space. I mean, what better what better ambassador for Star Trek than the man who's actually been to space? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Here you go, Reniel in the chat. Hello, Rennie. Shatner called it out. He was savage AF.
He did.
I think all the fans were. The fans had Mr. Shatner's back, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The replacement is Mikey Burnham, Space Jesus, in the middle. It's not even subtle. It's not even subtle, is it?
It's tone deaf, completely tone deaf. She is one of the most hated characters in Star Trek. And it's not because she's a woman. It's not because she's black. It's because she is badly written and badly acted. Sorry, that's just the way it is. The stories are rubbish. The show is rubbish. The whole thing is rubbish. And then, is it her fault? No, not really. But that's just how it is. She should be shunted off to the side and taken out altogether. Why isn't what's her name, Libby, in the middle?
Yeah, why isn't Picard in the middle, or why isn't Janeway in the middle?
Picard would have made more sense in the middle because he's basically the iconic one for Star Trek, right?
Well, he's the one who's currently leading the charge for good Star Trek, you know. So yeah, the whole thing's a misfire, quite honestly.
Swappers, any views?
I was a bit pissed off when I saw this, to be honest with you, because the front and center garbage track is like right there in the center, and everyone else is sort of pushed off to the side. Although we've got Kirk from the original series, but no, sorry, not Kirk. Sorry, we've got Spock, but no Kirk.
Uhura.
So yeah,
Uhura should be in the center. She passed away recently, didn't she? So.
Yeah, so we've got a woman of colour on there. We have to make sure we get the woman of colour on there. You know, we don't want the straight white male. No. So we put Nichelle Nichols on, and also Leonard Nimoy, because I guess it's the closest thing to Kirk out of the other cast members. So you know, we've got that show covered. We've got it covered. We just don't want William Shatner on there. That's all. I mean, what controversial statements has he been making lately that would make him omitted from this? I don't understand.
Well, they don't forget easily, do they?
That's from oh God, what's that cartoon?
Lower Decks.
Lower Decks. I watched the first. Yeah, I thought that was first season was reasonable, but it was shit. But it was,
no, I got through about 4 episodes and gave up. It was terrible. She's one of the most I mean, she makes Michael Burnham look good. You know, she was just awful. Nothing Star Trek about that show whatsoever at all.
Is it giving the bird to people of our generation, guys, not having Kirk?
This reminds me of Disney Star Wars. With every new promotional piece of material now, they have to thrust Rey and Kylo Ren and Finn in with all the classic characters as if they've got, you know, they deserve to be there. And every time I see it, it just makes me wince and just cringe when I see it. And this is the same kind of thing.
Again, Melvin Deeply asking the tough questions. Why isn't Malcolm in the middle?
He
Is
might be
all
too
week?
white, that's why.
Possibly. It does feel
people.
very Paramount or Paramount has made some, purely down to Terry Matalis, some really good steps this last few weeks with Picard, and they've just literally one tweet, one poster, one graphic has just literally undone all of it. They just can't help themselves, can they?
It's probably Kurtzman who did this, or he probably instigated that he's probably jealous of the attention it's getting because he's not directly involved. So he's probably sabotaging it or something. I don't know. I mean, why would you do something so tone deaf? It just doesn't make sense. Well, they are stupid, let's be honest.
It's very similar. It is very similar to Skywalker being erased, isn't it? With Star Wars and Rey and all that shite.
There's definitely a pattern going on.
Yeah. Okay. We'll move on. Anybody see this? On the left is the original concept art for. Did the Lord call him crap? That's Modoc.
Yes.
Mo Dick.
No dick.
No dick.
Yeah, no dick, I think, at his side.
He's
all head.
I think it was just announced. It was announced.
No clapping cheeks for you, buddy.
Yeah, it was announced literally before we came on that this film, Ant-Man, it's flopped, hasn't it?
Thank
Big
God.
It's
No,
down to the
bombed.
thousands now, isn't it, in the
Yeah, it's
cinema?
bombed.
Like, it's over how many thousands of cinemas, but it's down to like a few 100,000 in the week watched it.
That makes me so
That's
happy.
not good. Yes, well deserved.
Yep, well deserved, you fuckers.
Apparently, Puss in Boots has done better.
Oh,
That's
Cocaine
awesome.
Bear temporarily knocked it off too
Yes, it
for
did.
like a day or two.
Didn't it for the weekend? Didn't Cocaine Bear
No,
come in
not
hot?
for the whole weekend. Ant-Man ended up coming back up, I think, on the Sunday or the Monday because it was a long weekend or something.
Oh, yeah.
So temporarily knocked it off on the second week.
No, legitimately, both these concepts suck anyway. What am I supposed to feel here? Like blown away? Like, oh, I wish they used that. Who gives a shit?
I've not seen the film. Is it really that bad?
It's really bad.
It's really bad, Brownie. It's bad.
Like it's literally just almost 2 hours of just in your face CGI, and that's about it. Oh, and the message. There we go.
Where can you go? I mean, when you've gone through multiple universes and multiple this, that, and the others, I mean, where else can you go? It's supposed to be Ant-Man, not Atom Man.
Well, Ant-Man
that
shouldn't
would
be
make
getting
more
his own
sense.
movies. Period. He doesn't need them.
He does not
His
need
first
his own
film
movies.
his first film was great. I really liked the first Ant-Man film. I thought the fight scene with the miniature train set was fantastic. I thought that was really clever, and it was fun.
Yeah, agreed.
It was enjoyable. This was. I have no interest in watching this. I'm so tired of CGI being smashed into my face with all these bright colors, like I'm on ADHD pills.
Bright lights.
Yeah, it's just and where do you go? I mean, you've got all this stuff, and it just looks like it's shot in a studio in front of a green screen anyway. So there's really no point at all, and it's not telling anything new. And I think, Little Platoon said it was just the story of Tron Legacy.
Yeah,
rehashed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's hilarious.
It's terrible.
And
Very
Kang wasn't
lucky.
even. Kang was in there for like less than 10 minutes of screen time, and he wasn't even a good villain by Marvel standards.
That's low.
I know that's already very low. So this movie was it was filler. It was content for the sake of having content. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Hostman recommends Puss in
Mhm.
Boots.
Absolutely. Fantastic film. I love that film. I watched it again recently, and it's even funnier the second time around because you're
I
noticing
think I
more
need to check
things.
it
It's
out.
great.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
Vex, have you watched all the recent Marvel films, or have you just kind of tuned out like the rest of us?
I'm
have?
more or less tuned out. Like I'm going to be honest, like Captain America was kind of the only reason I was tuning in because I think Winter Soldier was where they hit their peak. and then it was all just kind of like from there. I didn't like not Infinity Endgame. I didn't think Endgame was a good movie at all. And then it just the Spider-Mans I guess were okay, but even looking back, like Spider-Man Far From Home, it's when you take out all the excitement of having all those old Spider-Mans on screen together, is not a good movie.
We got him back. Listen, I'll tell you what went wrong. I was a film extra for a while, and when I stopped being a film extra in Marvel movies, it all went wrong. That's where it went wrong.
Because it's your fault.
It's my fault because I left.
There you go, folks. It's Probby's fault.
You can thank me later.
No. Swappers, you've not seen any of these. You're like me, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm completely abstaining from any MCU products. Yeah, from Endgame just ruined it. So and the TV shows were just arse, weren't they? Completely. So I'm just not going anywhere near this film whatsoever. I mean, I know all the reviews are crap and everything like that, so there's no chance I'm even going to watch it. Bother downloading it on pirate and watching it with Korean subtitles.
Well, that's what I did.
This at all. I
didn't want to pay a dime for this at all, so I just pirated it and watched it because I was like, okay, it can't be that bad. Because sometimes people blow it out of the water. And I was like, oh god, this is really that bad. This is
wow. And you still want your money back, right?
Yeah, I still want my money back for the pirated copy I found.
I genuinely went into this one like being totally fine. Like I was not happy whatsoever with Phase 4, but I was like, it's Ant-Man. He like you were saying, Vex, like he doesn't need his own movie, but all the same, they're just like forgettable palate cleansers. Like it's just like whatever. It's gonna be
this
mid.
Wasn't
it's not
even
gonna
a
be
palate cleanser though.
Right, and then it ended up being a fucking disaster. Like it was a terrible movie. And I just thought it was going to end up being like, it's okay. Like, it's totally fine. It's Ant-Man. The last two movies were fine. And this was awful.
Here you go, Franco Walker. The MCU is all bollocks.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm just so scared about what they're going to do with Blade. That's really all I'm worried about now. I want them to abandon that project altogether now that it's kind of going through production hell. Just let it go. Don't do anything. Don't touch it.
Don't disgrace
I'm
that
dreading,
character.
Yeah.
I'm dreading Fantastic Four, quite honestly.
Me too, because we have not had a good Fantastic Four adaptation yet. And I remember the hope, like when the MCU was still going strong, was everyone's like, well, yeah, they'll do it right. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so anymore.
No.
Here you go, folks, in the chat. Take my Wi-Fi, please. I'd rather get a blowy from a combine harvester.
I'd rather get a blowy from a combine harvester.
I'll give you the key. Okay, so I think Marvel is fucked. Especially, I think, did Igor, is it Bob Igor, say he's reducing the funding as well this week?
Well, I think that you shouldn't reduce funding for the movie. I think he just means like overall funding in general to the MCU. Like we're not going to make 5 projects. We're going to make 2 really good projects. At least that's what I hope. And
well, that's
like
what, I think it was either Bob Iger or Kevin Feige had said that a couple of weeks back, is that they're going to slow the release windows down now to leave more room between it. Because it's the last like 3 years, it's just been bam, bam, bam. If there wasn't a movie in the theaters, there was a show on Disney Plus to fill it in, right? So they're going to slow it down. And the other thing too is they apparently blamed Star Wars for why this movie flopped, as well as the other thing. What? Apparently, we've seen too much Star Wars, and that's why Ant-Man failed.
Yeah, again, Star Wars? No accountability whatsoever. Are you joking?
See, the actual quote from Bob Iger.
Wow, that's delusional.
No accountability. It's not our fault. No. We just
it's always someone else. It's someone else's fault all the time. It's either the toxic fans, or people don't get it, or people are just haters. People are just listening to all the wrong far right critics, and people are just
far right.
And I'm just so tired. Right. I'm just so tired of that now. Just stop, own it, and fix it. End of story.
Mm-hmm.
And on that, we will move on.
Yes.
Tell me you can't get laid without telling me you can't get laid.
Who saw this? I just thought,
I did.
what?
Yeah. Well, there's loads of stories in the past of people who fall in love and get married to inanimate objects. I mean, there was. I remember there was a story about a guy who had a romantic relationship with a paving stone.
Yeah, there's that guy that had the relationship with, I think it was like a Corvette as well, and he basically fucked the tailpipe. So there's that too.
I hope he switched the engine on.
Look at this person's head. This person's head shape. They have autism.
Yeah, so, definitely non-binary as well.
Sorry
the
for the
shape of this
eugenics
person's
people.
head defines why they are doing what they're doing.
Wow. Okay.
I'm on a heater today, guys. No holds barred.
Bring it.
Trying to piss off everybody.
Does she call it Lloyd? Because it's named Lloyd, I guess. So is that a heterosexual relationship? Because that's a man's name.
So she's assuming the plane's gender?
Something. Oh, that's fighting talk around here, that is.
If you're fucking a plane, you must believe in all the gender shit. So
I mean, it's awful phallic looking. They better be calling it a man, I would guess.
Wouldn't a Jumbo 747 be better because of the?
Does her sanitary towel come with wings?
I think on that we'll move on. I don't think we can follow that.
Here, Brownie. You were asking
I don't think
for
we can
it.
follow that.
Oh god!
It just goes from the sublime to the ridiculous, shall we say? Who watched Friday Night Tights? Obviously on Friday.
Didn't need to.
Yeah. I think I'm a casual viewer for the Friday night stuff. I watched this clip though. I don't understand why they had Gavin McInnes on here. That was my thing. He's a provocateur by nature.
I was a wrench for FNT. I resigned the other day.
Wow, I didn't know.
Yeah. I haven't been wrenching on there for a while, but that's because of people like this that they bring on, and I just felt increasingly more and more alienated as part of the audience anyway, and I wasn't enjoying it. And this really just seemed to be the sort of zenith of that for me. I love Gary to bits, but I just think that this was such a massive misfire, and it's a shame. And I just think it should be a warning for the future, really. I think really this jumped the shark somewhat.
Vex, for the uninitiated, who is this? What's his name?
Gavin McInnes.
Yeah, I spelled it wrong.
I've never heard of him.
So he used to be a like a news reporter / journalist or whatever for like the alt media company Rebel News up here in Canada.
Right.
And then sometime in like I think it was 2016 or 2017 he left, and he was always even then like a very on edge guy. Like he did things to try and get a reaction out of people. Okay. So that's been in his nature from the beginning. He also started the Proud Boys, which again is a joke, but people started labeling it as a terrorist organization because of who Gavin McInnes is and who he's been
in Canada.
To. In Canada.
We're not saying someone's pronouns is a crime, by the way.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know what he's been doing since he left Canada. But it looks like he didn't he definitely kind of went off the deep end because he was bad before, but he wasn't this bad. So I don't understand why you would have. I understand that you can't control what your guests do. That's understandable. But this guy you're playing with fire here. So why would you even risk it?
Yeah, and it was awkward too because I didn't watch the whole thing. But this morning I just wanted to go back because I had heard that he was actually shitting on them. And I went back and listened, and I was like, no way, man. Like, why would you invite this guy on?
How do you mean shitting on them?
And
not literally.
He was making fun of them for liking for being part of this.
He was
part
rude.
Of pop culture. He was super rude, and you could tell everyone was getting pissed.
And getting into their private life to see.
Yep.
He was getting into their private lives to see if they were losers. Effectively, that's what he was trying to do. Yeah.
And it's really weird because I like Nerdrotic. I like Gary. I like Ryan. The other ones I don't really listen to or watch or anything. Nothing against them,
Yeah.
but all the same, this is what happens when you try audience capture. Like when you're really trying to, get the pot stirred to get the audience riled up, and and all that stuff. You brought the wrong guy on, man. Because when he's shitting on you and your audience, what does that do for anybody?
Nothing.
Ego, in the chat, Poker Harder, do you think this increased their subs or decreased? Well,
It got them the
I
clicks.
left.
It did get them the
4,000
clicks.
stopped watching instantly, apparently.
Yep.
That was a third of the audience just went off.
That's crazy. It's the timing was interesting with this too, because I don't know if you guys watched Chrissy Mayer's streams at all. She's the girl at the
Occasionally.
bottom there.
Yeah.
But this past week as well, she had a porn star on her stream, and one of her hosts apparently ate her ass on the stream.
Nice.
What?
I accept
okay.
it.
So
Anybody got the link?
So I'm just wondering if this is now becoming a thing for, I guess, just the people associated with Friday Night Tights, in which they're trying to push the buttons because it gets attention, even though it's not.
It's new shock jock.
Shock value for the sake of attention.
Yeah. Look, ever since FNT went more and more political, it's gotten progressively worse. Now, when it started, it was fun because they were roasted. They had a format. They had a set of things prepared, and they had things to talk about. Just the odd trailer or something. They go through it and rip it apart and play funny videos and comment on them and things like that. It was fun. It was light. It was great. The more political it's got ever since sort of around the time of bringing Alex Jones on, and it's become far more loose, and you've got about 4 people talking over each other at the same time, more than Will Brown's channel.
Easy.
And it's a mess, and this political, as Cynic quite rightly said, was just audience baiting. Really, it's just giving them too much of the politics, because they're trying to attract this kind of more right-wing Republican sort of audience. And I'm kind of a bit, I'm very tolerant of other people's beliefs and people's political views, and I'm very centrist, and I don't really get offended by things, and I can take a joke, but I've heard the word gay so many times on that stream every week that it's just kind of demoralizing. And that stupid meme that they keep playing with the means you're gay,
the Law and Order clip.
Every damn time. It's so old now, and it's just become a little boys club, really, with people sniggering at look at the gays, aren't they funny? I'm just kind of a bit over that now. Like, fine, I can take a joke, but when it becomes gay this, gay that, gay this, gay that, I just like, look, what you don't understand, FNT, is that there are a lot of gay people out there who are opposed to all this nonsense in our media and in the politics. We are standing against this on a daily basis. We got a lot of the TQ plus coming down on us like a ton of bricks, and we're fighting them constantly. And it's gone unnoticed, and we're sort of lumped in with that because you're not really paying attention to the details. You're just looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah, the
and unfortunately, this is more important. If you're going to focus on politics, you have to understand that this kind of grassroots stuff is more important than what's going on in Disney. Because it's stuff like this that actually does affect it. That's if you're going to go into the politics. But I would say to them, just forget all that and focus on the entertainment. That's what people want to talk about.
Ego Proby, Andy Mouse. They are just comic book geeks.
You know what the issue might be, though, why they're starting to breach into the politics part is because there's a million different YouTube circles doing the comic book breakdowns, the pop culture breakdowns, the movie breakdowns. But there isn't a whole lot that adequately blend the politics side of the culture in. It's usually very polarized, the ones that do. So since they're already a big channel, now this is a way for them to hook in the political crowd rather than just the geeky crowd.
I genuinely feel bad for Gary on this one because he tried something and it definitely backfired and failed. And the level of disrespect that Gavin brought to that show, they all should be pissed. Yeah, understandably so.
absolutely.
Gary's
I would
channel's
be
in danger.
infuriated. Yeah.
But if
And-
you've watched Gavin McInnes' stuff, you know that this is how he is.
And
Right. And that's the risk he took, and that's what he got, and that sucks.
Unfortunately, if Gary lost his channel, he's only got Gary to blame. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
But I
I'm
think
really,
he would take that. You know.
yeah, I'm glad that he didn't lose his channel. Thank God.
Well,
but
he doesn't know
if he
yet.
did, yeah, tomorrow's Monday. Like, who
he
knows?
said, yeah, if he hasn't got an email by Monday, he's probably got away with it.
Yeah.
So he's probably worried. Here you go, Kratos in the chats. Using gay as an insult, the zenith of edgy 12-year-old boys' humour back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Absolutely.
the thing is, they should have pulled, when that happened, they should have just pulled the plug straight away.
Pulled the plug, yeah.
Straight away.
But they just carried on,
straight
didn't they?
away. Yeah. Because they have a big name, inverted commas, on there, and they don't want to. They're kind of a bit enthralled by that, and they sort of lose sight of what's actually happening. And he dominated. Let's be clear. Apart from peeing on the desk, he was peeing over the whole stream by golden stream, by dominating and focusing his entire ego. Because he's in the middle and he knows it, all the eyes are on him, and he's sort of picking them off one by one and going to their personal lives and then slagging off all their individual. And I'll give them their dues. There was Shad, even though he's a shouty man who says gay a lot. He did hold his ground quite well, as did I can't remember his name, D-Day Cobra guy.
Yeah.
He did actually stand up to him a few times. So, and Gary himself said, I'm no shame to my game, and quite right. But this is what happens when you bring in this sort of pseudo jock onto your stream.
Oh dear.
They don't usually mix well with nerds and geeks, and that's what you're going to get. But when he's a high jinkster like that, he's going to take advantage, and he did.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it was a real penis he whipped out, by the way?
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, how can
wait?
Hold on. How closely were you eating? How can you confirm it was real?
Look, when it comes to dick, I am an expert, and that was a micro dick, and it was real, and it was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was
and
real,
shaming.
definitely real. Yeah.
What certifies one as a dick expert, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
A homosexual.
Well, yeah.
I'm waiting for the gay joke.
Here you go. We'll do some chats. Here we go. Here you go. Appion. Hello, Appion. Worst Friday night tights.
Yeah. Really was.
Anti-derivative Jill. Hello, Jill. I don't feel bad for him. This is the channel he built. He doesn't talk about things he loves anymore. Anyhow.
He's kind of moved
I think
on
in
from the
his solo
smaller
videos,
channels.
he still touches the things that he likes.
Agreed, yeah,
it's just on the streams, not so much anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Gary and Drinker and Mahler and all those people were like big inspirations to start my channel. I really loved that Gary's just like a ground up kind of guy, especially where he came from. So I have mad respect for him. But again, just like the last person said in the chat there, like this is the channel he built. So, you reap what you sow.
I just think there's a change coming on YouTube. I can feel
Oh yeah.
it. And I think this was the YouTube gods speaking. But that's just me. Here you go, Hostman. $5. Thank you, sir. If Friday Night Tights wants to be wants the more political crowd, might I suggest Stephen Crowder or Clifton Duncan?
Yeah, no,
guests?
legit. Those two would be fantastic guests. Clifton Duncan, he could most likely get easier than Crowder. Crowder's like enormous, enormously popular. But yeah, like Clifton Duncan is an excellent host. He's an excellent podcaster. I've listened to him a lot. That would be a wonderful guest to have on. That would like actually bring real legitimate conversation, but it doesn't stir the pot like Gavin McInnes.
Yeah.
Here you go, folks. Norfolk and Chance. Oh, chat moved up, sorry. It takes me ages to get keyed up to the urinal. I was impressed he could do it on cue.
Oh, he didn't do it on cue. You could tell he was prepping that mother.
Yeah, that's the thing. If that's as big as he could get it, and he could see he was fumbling around.
Yeah, he was trying to give himself a chubby.
The funny thing was, he said earlier that he would never allow a woman to see his dick small, soft, and then 12,000 people watched it.
So if that isn't soft, then shit, man. No wonder he's mad all the time.
The thing is, if they'd have been paying attention, they would have had a chance to boot him off before it happened.
They should have done.
Is there a delay?
Or a delay. Now,
yeah, they can put a delay on it. Yeah. They should have just booted.
Cut it off.
Yeah, literally.
Cut the dick off.
There you go, Tim.
Okay, not that far.
Not to cut off, to be frank.
Let's not get bogged down.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Tim.
We are bogged.
We've been told. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks, Tim.
Goosebumps.
Oh, hey, that's my Twitter account.
This is to do with the Roald Dahl scenario, isn't it? In
the same vein, yeah.
Yeah, the what's the term of the I forget what the name is of these
sensitivity readers.
Yes,
and
they're altering some of these. I don't know these books, Vex, but it's teen horror or something.
It's kids horror basically. It's just a whole anthology series. So it's a short book, usually under 100 pages, and some of them you can choose your adventure, but it's all horror themed, right?
Yeah.
They're fun. Some of them can get a little bit dark, but I had almost 100 of these books when I was a kid. I absolutely loved them, and I don't think that I'm particularly disturbed as an adult by them. Right? Like even Roald Dahl stuff, some of it I think is more just outdated because he wrote those in the 40s and 50s, right? Yeah. So some of the comparisons he makes doesn't blend well today.
Yeah, perhaps, yeah.
But it's not just, I mean, it's not that disturbing though. I don't understand. I understand why they're doing it, but just part of me is just like, why would you want to erase things rather than just maybe build something new instead, right? It's an opportunity, if anything.
Ego, Duke, Soviet censors.
I know that like we've all found it ridiculous that they have like sensitivity warnings on Disney Plus before like older cartoons. But you know what? If we're going down that route, that's a better compromise than just straight up changing everything.
Yeah.
Well, that's the gateway, though, isn't it?
It is the gateway.
It's always we're just gonna do this. Don't worry, it's just gonna have a warning on it. You know, just sensory. No, we're just gonna take out the odd scene here and there. We're just gonna rewrite the whole goddamn thing. You know, it's I'm just so tired of this now.
And there's the other thing too. It's just sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's a slippery slope, you know.
Yeah, because like even outside of the kids' books, like they're trying to like stop publishing some of Ian Fleming's Bond novels as well, because of the problematic male stuff as well in there. So you allow this kind of shit, and that's kind of where it ends up going.
Who are these people? We didn't elect these people to mess around with our heritage. This is our cultural heritage, and these unelected little pen pushers, snobs, with their very partisan politics are deciders for our culture. These people who are the least cultured people on the bloody planet are the ones dictating for future generations what they can and cannot be, given in terms of our cultural heritage. It's a distortion of our history, which they're very keen on doing because they are deconstructionists and revolutionary minded. So they just constantly have to rewrite the past. And as Orwell said, you know, who controls the past controls the present, who controls the present controls the future.
Careful now, Orwell's considered problematic as well. Didn't you hear?
Yes. He's been the subject to these people as well, which is ironic beyond ironic.
Franco is shouting, by the way, double fucking standards. Appion, warning, we think this is offensive.
Good.
Did you guys see that kids book? It was trending on Twitter a couple weeks ago, but it was teaching kids about how it's like sexuality and stuff like that. And it was like, it looked like just like a kid's animated little book and everything, but inside the illustrations were childish drawings of gay children having sex and masturbating.
What?
So the people that think this is offensive
Jeez.
is allowing that kind of stuff to be put in schools.
Exactly.
And they don't see a problem with that because it's, you're accepting identities and whatnot.
Yeah, it's very skewed and it's perverse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a campaign of demoralizing our culture. That's entirely the whole process. This is not happening by accident. This has been a long, slow process, and it's ramped up since Trump came in, and they panicked and they exposed themselves rather than allowing this to trundle along sort of under the radar for a long time. The old adage of the slow march through the institutions wasn't a joke. Okay, this has been happening for many decades, and they've been slowly pushing themselves into positions of power and influence. And I wouldn't be surprised if there are some very high up billionaires who've been compromised somewhere along the line with photos or videos.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And this has been allowed to happen.
Here you go, folks. Channel favourites in the chat. The gradual erasure of our pop culture by physical media.
And then they'll phase out all the physical machines slowly and surely. Then you won't be able to get spare parts eventually. And,
Well, look at it even just in the gaming sphere. They're switching to digital only releases, and you have entire consoles that are digital only. You can't buy a disc. Yep. It's already happening. It's already there.
Same with laptops. You can't sort of burn your own stuff anymore.
Yeah, no disk drive anymore. Yep.
Swappers, any thoughts before we move on?
You pretty much said everything, really. I was just going to say about the erasure of literature and pop culture. It's just really going that way. This is another thing, isn't it? It's a bit scary. And we can see it. They're kind of accelerating it. You can see it happening. And because I don't know if they're feeling some kind of pinch or what, that they have to increase the rate that they're doing this. But over the last 20 years, it's been a very, very slow drip. But now it's kind of kicked up a gear.
Yeah.
And every day I wake up, I expect to see something else either erased or changed or altered, and the original kind of desperately tried to be trodden down and forgotten about. And Disney are doing it en masse with every single one of their releases. So this doesn't surprise me at all. I just think, well, this is just the next one. What's going to come after it? It's just tragic.
Blue Boy, are you available to read a chat, please?
I don't know how to read, dude. No.
Well, go away and learn, and then come back. We'll stay here. We'll wait for you.
Says, I would vote for problem being. I would too. All he needs to do is create a national party and then stand for election.
Yes.
No, that's Lord's job, not mine.
No, you and the Lord should run together. That is
he's the
winning ticket right there.
Well, that's what he wants, isn't it? Okay. Shall we move on then, please?
I love this. This is great.
Ironically, kind of all this is coming to a head Oscar week. Literally a year ago, this started.
Promotion.
Yeah, good timing. Purposeful timing.
4D chess going on, yes.
Yep.
Who's watched the video of Chris Rock?
I watched the
whole thing.
Show. Yeah.
Because he goes on about this. This is obviously going back to when Will Smith twatted him in the face at last year's Oscars. He's been pretty much silent all year, hasn't he?
Because he's got no tea left anymore. His wife has his balls now.
Yeah, you see how skinny he's always been? This man has zero testosterone in his body.
That woman was out fucking other dudes, and she's like, "Oh, it's okay. I love her. She's beautiful. Let her go get boned by 20-year-old rappers. It's totally okay."
That's a narcissistic abuse, spousal abuse. This is very common with wives. Narcissistic wives. You get this with narcissistic mother. You get obviously.
This is a modern woman problem. This isn't a narcissistic.
This is a very
thing.
Well, I don't know. Women. I mean, it does. I mean, he is a codependent. He is stuck on her. She's got him by the balls, and
he loves her.
It's the definition of MPD behavior.
Have you seen the wedding photos for Jada and Will?
No. What is special?
It was taken at Epstein's Island. That's where they were wedded.
What? Yeah, I bet Will just watched her bang
Easy.
Just ran through. There you go.
Bang,
Easy.
fireworks, fireworks.
I know the monetization has gone on this hours ago, but
I'll send you some money, Brownie, so I can say whatever I want right now. Will Smith.
well, as long as you don't kill the channel.
Will Smith in every picture I see looks like he's in a PTSD mode, and he's just seeing in his
He's
head
a broken man.
himself
He's a broken
getting
man.
fucked. Like, I think he's just in his head perpetually getting cucked, because look at his face in that picture. It looks like he's watching it happen right now.
He just needs to squeeze his balls and just say enough.
He needs to fuck his wife. That's what he needs to do.
No, he needs
Stop
to
being a
leave his
bitch
wife.
and
No, he
properly
just needs-
give your wife some dick so
No,
she's searching.
he needs to leave her.
He needs to
get the
leave
hell out
He
of
needs
her.
to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't usually like commenting on people's relationships. That's their
No, it's not
business.
good.
But in this case, brother to brother, you need to get the hell out of them.
Yeah, and how can you not comment on it? It's so public.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
Also,
like,
look at their
okay.
kids. That
Yeah,
parenting
well,
duo was not doing any good looking at how their kids turned out.
Yep. Spoiled
Aren't they
brat.
Yes.
Scientologists too? Oh my god, just what a mess.
Hollywood
What a
fucks you up. Get out
Here you go,
of there.
folks, in the chats. Tim, I think I like saying this. Hannah Bomb, unleash the movie cynic. Unleash.
I have a feeling that Will Smith does not enjoy getting cucked, but he certainly looks like it's happening to him 24/7. At least I can see it in his eyes.
Maybe he is addicted
Look at that
to
poor
it.
man.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
he
think
likes
some
watching
guys like
it,
it,
yeah.
right? So,
Well, yeah, but isn't that like masochistic? He's probably a masochist, right? He's probably
Probably,
like,
yeah.
I hate
Maybe.
myself, and I'm also getting off on this shit. Isn't that
Do you-
like the whole purpose of that stuff?
Do you think that he won't leave because obviously there's a financial value?
what financial value?
Well,
She's no
she'll
one.
Well,
take-
she
she'll
would strip
take his
him of half his
nobody.
money,
Yeah,
if nothing else.
yeah.
He's literally a
So
nobody.
he's. I don't.
And,
I think
alimony.
he should just. Yeah, he should just go. But anyway,
He wouldn't
Um,
even prove that she was screwing someone else, so maybe he wouldn't have to pay her.
How many
Well,
times did
they
Chris
admitted
Rock call
that.
him a bitch?
how many
I
times?
don't
know.
Sorry?
I was asking in the special, he calls him a bitch vicariously through all the other people, and then like the third or fourth time he calls him a bitch through someone else, you're like, oh, he's calling him a bitch. I get it now. But it was fantastic. It was.
Yeah.
I'm so
Savage.
glad that he kept that pent up for a year, because he just destroyed him.
I think he was the most professional out of any person at the Oscars last year. Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you
Did they
please
try
click
to
on
invite him
Hey,
back
Would You
this year?
Blow Me?
I'm just doing it. Bear with me. Vex, what did you say? Sorry.
Sorry, did they try to invite him back this year, or he didn't? Like he declined
He's
coming
banned.
back this year?
He's banned
Oh,
for 25 years, I think, something like that.
because he got slapped?
Oh, Chris Rock? Oh, no, I sorry. I
Rock.
thought you were talking about Will Smith. No. I don't know.
I don't think they'd have liked to have gone down that rabbit hole. As
Probably
it were.
not.
Here you go in the chat. Hey, would you blow me? The cooked Prince of Bel End.
Accurate.
Everything about
Oh,
that is
brilliant.
awesome. The name.
Yeah.
Everything, the whole thing, all
I'll
the
just
things.
say, Will, just get the fuck out for your
Just leave,
mental
bro.
sanity, if anything.
Before you
Yeah,
do something.
and dignity. I mean, it's already gone, but hey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who saw this?
Oh, yep.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand this. Who understands this? I know it's kind of a pun on words of a character.
I think what he's saying is there a couple years ago, everyone wanted to be in the MCU. It was
Yeah.
like, everyone was talking about, hey, this is where cinema's going to go. So if you want to still be an actor, you got to join the club. And he's basically saying, nah, bitch, I'm Nick Cage. I stand on my own.
Based.
I think
Based.
the fuck not, he said.
Good for him.
Oh,
Yep.
so it's
He
not
doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't need it.
No,
He's good.
No, and who even wants to join it now anyway? It's ass.
it's
It's
dead.
dead. Yeah.
Didn't we say a few weeks ago he should be in the DCU as, is it Bizarro Superman?
That would be
That'd
that would be so
yeah.
poetic. Yeah,
That'd be great.
I don't
of
think
the
they can
90s
afford him.
Superman. Maybe not now. Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
maybe he'd just say, fuck it, I'll do it for minimum. Who knows?
I mean, given the shitty productions he's been in the last 10 years, he probably will just accept it for free.
See,
in all
here you go.
honesty.
Tim, I like saying this. He was nearly Superman.
Mhm.
Mhm.
This camera is pissing me off.
Let's,
it
By the
just
way.
shut off again.
let's not get bogged down in cameras.
I'll be back again at some point. I'm staying here vocally.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like to see him in DCU as Bizarro Superman. I think that would be fantastic. Going
Who is
against
Bizarro?
Cavill. He's like the alternative reality hell world Superman. Isn't
He's
he,
like
guys?
a reverse
Yeah.
Superman. Kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Okay, and evil, of course.
opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, evil Superman.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
If anybody watched Superman, well, it is Superman and Lois, isn't it? The TV series.
Yeah.
They did
Mhm.
the Bizarro storyline last season, which was pretty good.
I only got halfway through that and I gave up. I need to
Really?
go back and finish it. Yeah. Although
It
I
was-
love
it was
I love
okay.
Bizarro Superman. I was always hoping that he'd come on screen. But can we please have Brainiac now? I mean, we've waited how many decades? Like, can we just have Brainiac? It's not too much to
Well,
ask for, is
we're
it?
not getting Cavill, though, are we? Which, as we've said many,
Sadly.
many times, not.
Stupid,
Not a good
stupid,
idea.
short-sighted move.
Here you go, Franco. Bizarro is evil Superman.
Yes, we've established he is evil Superman. Evil.
Here you go.
Like
Happy on.
Superman
It was
3
good. I
evil.
liked it. Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we move on? Yeah.
Yes.
Moving on.
Moving on. Somebody posted this obviously on the Twitter. A new box set come out in the States of Doctor Who. And somebody's
Oh.
missing.
Yeah, there was.
Got
yeah,
her
I saw this
logo,
trending
but-
on Twitter.
It's got her logo, but she's not in there.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's so stupid. But yeah, good.
There's no shot of the
Yeah.
back of the box, is there? Maybe she'll be like in the corner somewhere. I
Round the
don't know.
back.
Mm.
Where she belongs. Well, she doesn't belong there. I didn't mean it like, okay.
String killer.
Making sandwiches for everyone on set as well, I'm sure, right?
Hey, now you're talking.
Make me a sandwich.
Artist has got a kitchen.
I
hasn't
thought what's her Jodie Whittaker is her name.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
she's a good actress. So I'm.
Sorry.
But here's the thing: I don't watch Doctor Who. I've seen her in other things and enjoyed her. That's why I say that.
No, she's average.
Okay.
She plays
okay.
really good housewives
Yes.
and distressed mothers, you know.
There we go.
And that's her calling. And do you know her first job that she got after she finished Doctor Who? And she had a baby in the meantime. Fair enough.
Mhm.
Her first job was a public announcement video for some information video for the NHS. I think it was. Not
Talking
quite
about how
the
you got to get
Disney
your
height.
next one.
Probably.
Probably, yeah. And Chibnall, who did her, who ran the last series with her in it, Into the Ground, by the way,
Oh yes.
is now gone on to do a course for students who want to become producers and showrunners. So if you do that course, I would advise his students to do the exact opposite of what he tells you, and you should be fine. Crazy.
I take it
Backwards
you
world
won't
we
be
live
going on that course then.
in. Not on your Nelly.
Here you go, thinking man's joke from Take My Wi-Fi, please. Jodie who?
Whittaker.
Moving on.
Moving on.
It's an onion joke right there. It's layers.
Here you go, Dark Hour. Jodie Whittaker's character in Dark Mirror will make anyone hate her.
Black Mirror. Yes. I don't need that to make me dislike her, let's say.
Here you go, Isaac Cox. Every time I think of Jodie, I think of shit take mushrooms.
Shiitake.
Shiitake.
I think my version's better.
Yes, I think so. It's more accurate.
Ah.
Yeah.
Mr. Mr. Cox, what is it that you suck?
It's shit take. It's Isaac Long Black's cock, isn't it? I'm here all week, by the way.
Unfortunately.
Are we all looking for? Probably. Are we looking forward to these Tenant episodes?
Yes and no, because it's going to be bittersweet. I think a lot of Tenant fans are going to be happy to see him, but also this is the last time I think that they're going to get him, and it's going to be short-lived. You know, it's like he's going to come and go again, and it's just that's going to break a few hearts. And then we have this very, very, very camp young black guy who talks like this, like yes, who's going to be playing the Doctor, and I'm just not sure if that's going to work. So I'm going to wait and see. Everything else sounds like it might be okay, apart from the fact that last time we had RTD, he was bringing Doctor Who out the time when there was a Labour government. Now we have a Tory government in. I just feel that that's going to be very present in his writing. So,
here you go, Dark Hour. Shit take mushrooms. I think we just came up with a great brand name for a laxative.
You can slap organic on that label probably too, and it will sell even better.
Organic shit take mushrooms.
$50.
Swappers, anything to add, or shall we move on?
I think, I was only going to say what probably said really about, they're going to bring Tennant back for 5 minutes and then get rid of him, and then we've got to, just put up with whatever wokeness they're going to shovel at us. So, I'm finished with this.
But isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting that they bring back the straight white man in between the female Doctor and the black gay Doctor? It's like how does that work in optics wise? Because you need a successful, much loved incarnation of the Doctor to try and boost the numbers again. I mean,
there's a lot, isn't it?
It's just proof they screwed up, and they might screw up again.
Okay,
so
we'll move on. Here you go, poker harder. Orange Angora does not suit the Doctor.
It really doesn't.
No, it does not.
Ginger side again.
This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Who would like to go first on this?
Can I please go first here?
Yeah, you may. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not a huge TMNT fan. I watched the cartoons as a kid, and that's about it. I didn't check out those new movies they made, okay? I want to understand why Hollywood thinks it's totally cool to make every female sidekick look like a fat, dumpy cunt. I really want to know why. This is disgusting. Okay? They did it with Velma. Now they're doing it with this bitch. Like, this does not make me feel proud to be a female at all. To see literally a pear-shaped woman with mosquito bite titties all over my screen. And she's probably going to make some weird fat jokes too. I'm a real woman because I have real curves. I don't want to see this. This is stupid. That's all I have to say.
Oh my god. I'm so glad we brought you on this stream.
I think that's enough.
Brown might be having he's having his McGuinness moment.
Here you go, Tim. I like saying this. Hannah Unleash the Vex.
I mean, I don't want to get your channel demonetized, so I will contain myself a little bit.
That happened a while ago.
Yeah, that's gone. That has. Here you go, Here you go, Hostman. April O'Neil was not black. Franco.
No, she was not.
Well said.
This doesn't make any sense, and a lot of people keep I made a tweet some months ago, I remember, about how I was sick of all this race swapping that was happening in the Disney movies, like with Little Mermaid, right? And it's clearly because they're trying to do the whole non-white people should be represented too and all that stuff. And I'm just thinking, no, you don't need to put skin color into everything to represent it. People are like, oh, why are you being racist about it? It's not about skin color. Then the dumb bitch playing Ariel in the new Little Mermaid movie comes out and is like, oh, we need black representation. That's why I'm the best fit for it. They're not hiding it anymore. I'm so sick of this trend. I'm really I never had a problem relating to Disney princesses as a kid because the whole point of their characters was they overcome something. There's something about them that they learn by the end of the film, and it gives you a message about how to be a better person or what you should find important in life and all this stuff. And now we're just going back to your skin color is the only thing that matters, and that's clearly what they're doing here.
No, maybe they're doing a thing, and it's going to be April. It's actually going to be very positive because it's going to go from April O'Neil goes from fatty to baddie. That's what's going to happen.
But this is what they consider a baddie now.
If they want to make stories about people of color, why isn't Hollywood plundering the world's resources for stories? I mean, you've got like in India, you've got the Mahabharat, which is a very rich folklore of gods and myths and legends. You've got in Africa, you've got the Anansi stories with all these animal gods. Why not Disney do the Anansi stories?
Yeah,
and have as many black actors in that as you want.
It's not Black American, though, is it?
That doesn't matter.
There you go.
Does it matter? I mean, really? I mean,
not to
Wakanda. Were they? Well, get African actors.
Here you go, folks.
It's not difficult.
Channel favourite, Velma Dinklage in the chat. End the stream now. Vex drops the mic. It's all over.
Oh yeah.
Here you go. It was Aftermath. I was out. Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Seth
The
Rogen,
way
guy
they
who brought
announced
us
it.
Super Bad.
Yeah. They were just like from the eternal teenage mind of Seth Rogen or something like that. Like that was the opening line to announce this.
Yeah, because that's always cool. I definitely want to flash that around. Like, hey guys, I never grew up. Act like a teenager. Okay.
What is Rogen's problem? Anybody know?
Because
he's Canadian. He's a pothead.
He's in the Hollywood atmosphere. Like he just can't escape. Because we're talking about a guy who brought us Superbad, which is one of my favorite comedies ever. It is so aggressively offensive, and I love it. And what would he do now? He would never make that movie now, ever.
On behalf of all Jews, I'm sorry.
Thanks, man.
You're forgiven.
Thank you for that.
Lots of mic drops on this stream tonight.
We're not here all week.
Yes. Swappers? Thoughts?
I think Rogen made his money with Superbad and those types of movies, didn't he? When he was popular, and then now he's in the big club. He doesn't have to make anything good anymore, and he just has to basically toe the line with the wokeness, which is what he's doing. And this is another sacrifice, isn't it?
It's so obvious and facile, you know. It's so it's pointless.
I think this is one of your friends, Vex.
It is, yes. That's one of my co-hosts. Yeah.
Cannelloni Sasquatch. Hello. It's April O'Meal.
Oatmeal, definitely not.
April O'Meal.
This is an actual cinematic release, isn't it?
Oh dear.
That's not going to end well, is it?
Didn't Seth Rogen, wasn't he the guy, I think it was like during like the peak of lockdowns or whatever, he filmed a bunch of videos of him in his car having basically like hardcore meltdowns over like racism or something like that?
Well, I think they all were, to be fair, but
he was like basically to tears. Like it was like watching a hysterical woman essentially on camera. It was really embarrassing.
Oh, it's not good.
This is the type of guy that is considered a comedic genius and given the helm.
He's obviously smoking too much of his product. Here you go.
Yes,
Time Prophet.
it's fart.
Rest in peace.
Fart smoke. Yeah, his own
He's getting
fault.
stoned off his bottom coughs.
He's huffing
Rest
his
in
own
peace,
farts.
April, and rest in peace, Calculon. Yes.
Rest in peace, Calculon.
There was a lot of anger about this, wasn't there, on the Twattersphere?
Yes, there was. There was.
That's what it's for. That's what it's
And we
for.
haven't
It's
even-
there to induce this reaction.
Yeah,
Shock,
and we
yeah.
haven't even talked about what they did to poor Donatello. He used to be my favorite. Now I don't even know what the fuck he is. What is it?
Wait, what did they do to
Non-binary?
Donatello?
Is it a male, a female, a what the fuck? I don't know.
He's in a
It doesn't-
non-binary shell.
Yeah,
Half
there
shell,
we
and a
go.
non-binary shell.
Yes, I legitimately think they're going for like an androgynous Donatello because you can't necessarily say, well, this is a non-binary turtle because they definitely give a shit about that sort of thing. But that is
It's a turtle,
clearly
bro.
what-
It's a turtle.
I know, and
It's a
that's
talking
clearly what they're going
fucking
for.
turtle, bro.
Oh,
Yes. And they made it in ambiguous. Do you ever see fucking Pat on SNL? That's what Donnie's like now.
This is going to brown turtleneck.
Less of the
Say-
brown.
They're just going to shorten his name to Don and let it roll.
Donna.
Donna.
Here you go. Hey, would you blow me? Donatello.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Donafella.
Not a fella.
Nice. Thinking man's joke. I like that. Thinking man's joke. Shall we move on from this car crash?
sure. Mhm.
Yes.
Lots of car
Please.
crashes this evening. Sorry, guys.
As usual.
Yay!
No.
I need to get this fucking camera on. Hang on.
Vex,
I didn't think the Batman was great. I thought it was a pretty bad movie.
for what reasons while Blue Boy sorts his camera out?
I just thought the pacing
Wait.
was all over the place. I think they wasted a lot of the talent they had, specifically Paul Dano. Like, that's genius casting right there for your villain, and it was totally wasted. I didn't like Arpath's. I didn't like the whole depressing angle that they chose with him to try and make him, like, I guess, more relatable as a billionaire or superhero or whatever. I didn't like Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. She was really cringe. It was too dark of a movie as well.
Yeah,
This
here you
was
go,
like
look.
another. Sorry,
Here you
go
go,
ahead.
Stringer B. Look, here you go. Will we be able to see through the darkness this
There
time?
you go.
There you go.
This was just
Yeah,
a mid
that
movie.
wonderful
to me.
cinematography.
I think there was a lot of because I remember right before this came out.
Shut up.
Right before this came out, there were not a lot of good releases in theaters. So I think this had the bar was already really low, and then this came out, which is really mid in actuality, and people hyped it up.
So this movie,
No, before you fire up, Blue Man. Here you go. Hostman Socrates. Emo Bat sucks. Change my mind.
see, because I like you, Hostman, I'm not going to say what I would typically say to most people who try and say that, which is, how about suck my dick?
I think he'd like that probably.
A lot of takers there. Hold on.
It is 2023.
Form an
I don't
orderly
know.
queue, folks.
No, but legit, you all know how I feel about the Batman. I think it's totally fine if you don't like it. I think it's a preference, right? Like they
Mhm.
were going for a
course it
certain mood with Batman, and you like it or you don't. I grew up loving Nirvana. They're one of my favorite bands of all time, and they really did try and make Bruce Wayne like a different kind of Bruce Wayne. They tried to make him. Everyone keeps saying emo. Does anyone even know what the fuck that means? Because that's not what
No,
it
Emotional.
it's just because
Right.
it annoys you. That's why.
Probably. Yeah, the whole internet calls it emo to piss me off. But no,
We're all
legit, like
against
he's
you.
much more of the grunge Kurt Cobain type, not emo, not like fucking Fall Out Boy. Come on now.
I mean, Kurt
That's-
Cobain did shoot himself at the end, so
Well, he was a little emotional, I'm
27
sure.
Club.
Well, someone put a hole in his head. Just saying.
Someone did. No, but like if you don't like that style, that's cool. I was as a Batman fan, I'm always a little biased towards the Bat, but all the same, like the ones before with Zack Snyder, that was fucking terrible. I hated
Yes,
everything
agreed.
about that Batman. I do not understand why everyone's like Ben Affleck was good. I thought he was trash, absolutely trash.
Yeah, but
I
you're
don't
wrong.
I
think
think
Ben
it was-
Affleck's even good at acting anyway.
Yeah, it was
but
more
you're wrong.
because they made him like the more what's the word? Like the more
He's a
violent
shaggy
Batman,
Jennifer.
and that seems to be what everyone liked. But I'm with
guess.
you on that. I didn't like it either.
No, and with this, I thought they did find a good balance with the violence of Batman, because like straight up, like the opening scene of Batman was such a fantastic introduction, I felt, because it really showed his aggressiveness. They showed it in that first trailer, which is why everyone got really excited. Like, yes, Bruce Wayne killed people, but this was much more visceral because Matt Reeves is a fucking superior director than Hack Snyder. So like the way that he filmed it, the way it's choreographed is very, very good. So I actually thought they found that balance of a very aggressive Batman that also wasn't like a murderous psychopath. I agree with you though on the Paul Dano thing. The Riddler, like at the end, the jail scene, I was like, yeah, I like it, but it did get kind of silly when he started singing Ave Maria. I understand that it connected to the beginning of the movie because that's what he was listening to, so that's what he listens to. I get it, but all the same, yeah.
Here you go, folks. In the chats, Hostman being incredibly generous for 5
Yes, you are, sir.
US. He is generous to a fault. Thank you, Hostman. Can Blue Boy convince me like emo bats? No, it sucks.
Can you blow me? Yes, you can.
We've got Hey, would you blow me? He'd do it.
There's a song in there somewhere.
Yeah.
No,
blow me?
Hostman, I love you, man.
Yes, you
I love
can.
you.
Can you? Okay.
No, to each their own. I can actually like watching it. I can understand why people do
Agreed.
enjoy it. Just for me, I wasn't a fan of this take. That's all.
Yeah, and that's cool.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot, especially juxtaposed with what had come out over the past few years with Ben Affleck.
Yes,
So.
definitely better than Batfleck. Yes.
Swappers, have you watched The Batman?
No, I have not. I just I don't like Robert Pattinson for a start. So I was off on the wrong foot with that movie, and I saw kind of the redesigns and things like that they were doing with it, and I was umming and ahhing and thinking, you know what, I love Batman, but I really don't like the direction they're taking this. But at least it's not Ben Affleck.
Yes,
Really?
thank God.
And
Wow.
And then the film got released, and I couldn't be. To be honest with you, I forgot that it was on at the cinema. I think I'm just so cynical these days that I just thought, I'll watch it when it comes out on whatever, and then I still haven't bothered to watch it on whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess my heart still lies with the Michael Keaton Batman, so I'm not going to move beyond
Flash
that.
coming up.
Hell yeah.
It's the best movie as far as I'm concerned.
What about the? What do you think about the Penguin? Because I actually really liked Colin Farrell as well as the Penguin, and I'm kind of excited about that prequel series that they're filming now.
Is it prequel? Because I heard it takes place literally directly after the movie.
Oh,
ended.
okay, so I could be wrong there, but I'm excited for because a lot of people I remember were like, "Why is Colin Farrell in this?" I'm like, "I know this is great. It's showing that he has some range. I'm okay with that casting choice."
It looks like for the show too, they're going a little Sopranos. I just saw a couple shots, and they're at least paying homage a little bit to visually speaking, because he definitely he's giving off this Tony Soprano vibe, and they showed it a side by side, and I was like, oh shit, this has potential here. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're kind of looking forward to both, then, Blue Boy?
Oh, 100%. And guys, do you just want to make a weekly segment that follows my recommendation where I have to argue for the Batman?
No, we've made it. No, we're not going to make one. We've made it.
This is a weekly thing. Vex, if you come back, please do. Just prepare yourself. It's every week.
I'll rewatch the Batman just in preparation for that.
I'm gonna go watch it tonight.
So I can bring more shit to serve you.
Even if I can't find any news, I will make it up.
Just make shit up.
Yeah. Okay. So shall we move?
Wait, this is on Dimcock's channel. Yeah.
I'll leave him alone.
I'm not smoking crack, McPherson. Smoking pole. Battinson pole.
Easy.
Sorry, just responding to the chat.
Yes. Hello, F. McPherson.
I'm thinking of a different poll. I'm sorry.
No, we're thinking of the same one, baby.
Oh my!
I'm thinking of my channel getting demonetized.
Do I have to double what I send you now, Brownie? Shit.
Quadruple it. Anybody see this? All roads lead to Jake Skywalker, everybody. Should we just leave it at that?
Moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on. In fact, tell you
Moving
what,
on.
here we go. Here we go. Look at this. Sheev Burger being incredibly generous for $20. Wow. I thought the new Last of Us episode was brilliant. I played the game and it was great. People who are, I'll start again, people who are mad at that episode just want a one-for-one game adaptation. Wow.
Agreed.
Do you mean the episode that came out last week, or the one that's going to come out tonight?
Yeah, Sheev, is it
episode 8.
Is it the one that's coming out tonight, the finale, or was it last week's, mate? Let us know, yeah.
I'm okay with The Last of Us not being a one-for-one adaptation. Again, it's just there was an opportunity to make a great series just based on character development, and it was lost because they were trying to match the game too much. That's the issue I have.
Yeah, I think if you're going to do an adaptation, just to do a straight off rip off, you lack any sort of creativity at that point. You know, you need to expand on that. Narrative that works in a computer game isn't necessarily going to translate directly to screen. If you look at most adaptations of computer games on the cinematic screen, you know, it's always going to be a completely different experience. I mean, you look at the Final Fantasy, it's not going to be exactly like it is on the game. But you're going to have those characters, those names, and those, you know, organizations or whatever, you know, things that are familiar, that gives you the feeling and the experience. But you have a different sort of world. You've got different actors playing the roles. And you're going to have a director who's going to have a particular vision of it. You know, they want to take the ideas and move it forward. Whether or not that works, that's very much down to people's personal tastes. And as it was mentioned earlier, you know, people will either love it because they haven't played the game, or people who will have played the game who don't love it. But here we have someone who actually loves both, and that's great.
Here you go, folks. Franco Walker in the chats. Yeah, I was thinking this. At Mr. Brown Alliance, allegedly, that's me. I'd be worried about your channel being shut down. Lol.
We
Get Gavin McGuinness on.
Well, I will say, Franco, if we're here on Wednesday, you know that it hasn't. Moving on.
Yep.
Okay. Swappers, do you want to add anything to this? I know Star Wars is your bag.
Well, all I'll add to it is I looked at the article that this was referring to, and where Favreau was quoted, he didn't actually deliberately say these words that it's going to actually dovetail with the sequel trilogy or anything. He was being very, very cagey about it, and it struck me as being that he was trying to tread water with that question. Like he didn't want to discount it because he knows that he'll get into trouble if he says anything that means that current Star Wars
They're
on TV
already in trouble.
Yeah. And I personally, I think he and Dave Filoni have got like a secret plan to send it in a different direction, because the Ahsoka show is going to be 100%. It is going to feature the World Between Worlds, which is their only get out clause, which is like their built-in alternate universe access point. So that's going to be the thing that helps them get past the sequel trilogy.
You've just seen the chat, haven't you?
Yeah, no. I just pissed on camera.
Look at F. McPherson's last chat there.
I know. F. McPherson, you're being very naughty this evening.
Oh, Christ.
It's not how big it is, it's how you use it.
Oh, fucking baby would feel smug.
I would say you don't get this on Nerdrotic, but you do. So anyway. Yeah, Swappers, there's some 4D chess going on at Star Wars, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
There is. I think that Favreau and Filoni are probably going to put into action their plan once Kennedy's out the door, but we're going to have to wait and see until that happens.
Well, she's still stuck in the revolving door, isn't she? So anyway.
At the moment.
Okay, one day somebody will just boot her out. But anyway. It doesn't get any better, does it? Swap Shop.
He's so smug. I can't deal with it. Take him off
Oh.
screen. I can't.
Can I ask, what is this fascination with Taika Waititi? Because it looks like he had
He's a
2
twat.
good things, and that's it. But now everybody wants to put him in everything. Like, he has now a track record where more of the things that he's made have done poorly as opposed to well.
Mm-hmm. He's
probably
a darling.
greasing.
That's why.
Yeah, he's just
He's a darling.
How do you like level up to doing a Star Wars movie after it is universal pretty much that you really fucked up Thor?
Yep.
Yeah, but aren't things signed in advance and all that rubbish?
I guess I thought this was announced like after Thor came out, like, hey,
Fuck
this
knows.
movie fell completely flat and everyone hated it. You want to do a Star Wars movie?
Mm-hmm. He must have some contractual obligation then. Maybe that's it. That's why they're throwing in
maybe.
Star Wars now.
Will it come to fruition though? That's the thing. So now they're cutting back.
Well,
A lot of things going to be on the chopping
Ryan
block.
Johnson's Ruins trilogy's gone.
Yeah, 'cause you're talking
Yeah,
about this
so
dipshit
this will
who
probably
asked
follow.
Natalie Portman to be in a Star Wars movie. Like, hey, mate, I'm going to be in a Star Wars. I'm going to be directing a Star Wars movie. Natalie, you're real pretty. Would you like to be in one? And
Is he from London? A Cotton.
I don't fucking know where he's from.
Here you go. Children,
Go on,
calm
sing
down.
Chim Chimney,
Calm
Chim
calm
Chimney, Chim
down,
Chim.
children.
Chim
Chim
Chimney,
Chimney,
Chim Chimney.
Chim Chimney. Here
Maybe
you go,
he was
MJ.
trying to rope Natalie into those orgies he was having with Rita Ora and that other
I'm
chick. Maybe that's it.
I'm going to end up paying YouTube at this rate. Here you go,
Brownie.
MGK for 100. See, this is correct. 126 episodes. You had a good run, Mr. Brown.
Oh dear.
As I said, if we're here Wednesday, it continues.
This
Okay, no
is
one
not-
showed their baby peen on screen,
That's
so you'll be okay.
Swappers
I love
hasn't yet.
how
We'll be all right.
how the rumor about that too is like it was fake. Nah, bro, that was real.
Well, that's why I was wondering, because I know you can buy like fake ones
You
that
can. It
fake
was
ejaculate
real. Yeah,
and stuff,
it
right?
was real. It was real.
All right.
That's real.
Okay, we'll move on from this because it's just not getting any better, is it?
I
on
just
any
want to in his face a little.
I think
He's
this.
so smug.
I think this man's worst crime is that he thinks
He
he's
made
funny.
movies. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because when you think you're funny, you're not usually. But anyway.
Do you know when this article was actually went live? Because whether or not it went out before this article, I don't know. But I've read that his project has been cancelled. So whether it's been brought back on again or not, I don't know.
So there's a silver lining then, folks.
Possibly.
Okay, off. Take him off
Yeah,
screen. Off.
off.
Oh yeah, there's. Oh god.
I didn't
Hey, look,
know
they've
there
re-swapped
was.
Betty.
I
course they
didn't
have.
know there was a Flintstones TV series coming.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
just
I didn't either, to be fair.
Yeah, it says here the voice cast for the Flintstones sequel series Bedrock.
I thought you
has
had to
been
be the
revealed.
same race as the character. I thought you were supposed to be the same character as
Oh,
the
yeah,
actor or
that's
the actor.
true. That's a good point.
Or does
Well-
that only apply one way?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's a
If she's
one-way
white.
street, 100%.
Sheer double fucking standards. Here you go. The adult comedy series is set 2 decades after the Flintstones as Fred nears retirement. This is it. Here we go. And his daughter Pebbles begins to embark on her own career.
So
It's the
Pebbles is going to be a
adult
slut
comedy
then,
bit.
right?
Why do people
Yeah,
hate redheads so much?
I know.
Why?
Here you go. Some hot news. I'm assuming this is correct. Jim D in the chat. Jamie Lee Curtis. I'll start again. Jamie Lee Curtis just won an Oscar.
Nice.
Not for a Halloween ends, was
Not
it?
for Halloween.
no. You guys know that I really want that movie to win Best Picture, but all the same, she didn't deserve that Oscar.
What did she get it for?
for Everything Everywhere All at Once. She didn't deserve.
Oh,
an
that
Oscar
movie is
for
going to
that.
rake it all up just
It's
because of
gonna
all the
clear
Asians
up,
in that
isn't
film.
it?
100%. Look, it got put in every category possible, and what's the common denominator? It has Asians.
It's
Well,
good
yes.
too. It's
there's
also
no-
really
if there's
good.
If there's no Ukraine movie available, then I guess yeah.
There you go.
Just give Zelensky an honorary Oscar. Just because apparently he was going to do a speech, but they cancelled him, didn't they?
Yeah, cancelled it. Yeah.
Which is
That was
good
wise.
because keep the propaganda off. I mean,
No,
it's
and
funny
they-
they cancel him for doing they cancelled him for doing a political speech, but these bloody actors who know nothing about geopolitics get to have their say. I think that's quite amusing.
There's
Plus-
probably going to be someone who's going to say something about Ukraine in their speech too, because it made every headline that Zelensky was planning to come.
I will say, where's Ricky Gervais when you need him?
Yeah, the man.
Mhm.
We need Ricky.
You got a big super chat.
I know.
Wow.
Holy shit!
Wow.
There you go, Brown. You worried anymore?
Sir Sheev, I've promoted him, Sir Sheev Burger, for
Hell yeah.
$50 US. Fuck no.
Wow.
Your people show is hilarious. Keep it going.
What do you mean, your people?
Yeah, what do you mean, people?
We will keep it going
not
until we
people.
get switched off.
Refund his money. He said, "You people."
Fuck you, movie cynic.
Brown's willing to overlook that discrepancy.
Drinks are on you anyway. Whatever happens.
Yeah, when we meet up.
I'll buy everyone drinks when we meet up for sure.
I would just say
Damn
to
right
everybody in the UK, I know Nerdrotic is going to be, they're going to announce this Wednesday there's going to be a UK meetup,
Nice.
but we were going to do one anyway. So if you're in the UK, we're thinking possibly July or August, where we might have a little bit of a meetup if you're in the UK. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I am
Or willing to travel
definitely
to
coming.
the UK.
Right.
Yeah.
So it'll
or
be
even willing to travel. Yes.
That's true. I'm 100%
totally worth
coming this summer, and I don't know who I'm staying with. If it's Platoon or probably back and. Whoa, that
You'll
sounded.
be-
really
You'll
rough.
be a
Yeah, that sounded hot.
That
That's
sounded
topping slut.
Here you go.
Those are the polls he was talking about.
Here you go. The wonderful Edge of Time. Hello, Edge. There's always one for $3.01. Yabba dabba don't. It's true.
Do you know what I'm getting though? When it said adult comedy, I just immediately got the Velma vibe.
Yes.
Anyone else?
Does anybody know
No.
what this is going to be showing on?
Well, so I think this is a. Oh, it doesn't say. Okay,
Who
what?
owns
It's Cartoon Network.
Flintstones,
So-
yeah.
Oh wow.
Who owns
We're not
Cartoon
bothered, are
Network
we?
now?
We're not bothered, are we? Just why?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
at this
Pebbles
point-
is going to be a slut, and that's going to be part of the adventure she embarks on.
What?
She's going to.
Yeah.
What is
Elizabeth
the
Banks
fascination
is-
with?
Oh,
What is
go
the
ahead, Robbie.
fascination with turning these? Sorry. What is the fascination
will
with
be.
turning these? Shut your mouth. Turning these classic cartoons
Get on with it.
into. Oh, look, you're throwing me off, right? Just stop it, right? I'm just gonna fucking knock you out, right?
Get
So
on with
they,
it, for fuck's sake.
so they, I've lost it. No, why are they constantly doing these remakes of these cartoons and making them adult and subverting them? It's like they're just obsessed with subverting and destroying all these very innocent cartoons of our childhood and turning them on their head and going,
I don't know, mate.
yeah, look, we're gonna make them do
It's-
disgusting things to each other.
It's
You know, why?
it's to erase, right? It's just like how
Yes.
they're trying to do it with books.
It was
it's
a
to
rhetorical
erase
question.
everything.
Programming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, but yeah. Nail it. Ram it home.
Oh.
Yep,
Don't
I think
mind
that's
if I
another
do.
stream, mate. Here you go. Children, calm down. I know we're all excited.
This is
I am.
FNT now.
I know. Sheer double
Just
fucking
like
standards. We're talking about them, and we're just sheer double fucking standards. Here you go, Sheep Burger for $5, man. You're so generous. Drinks on
bless your
me.
heart.
We'll quickly ask them, what's everybody's favourite movie of all time? Sheaves is Terminator 2, which is a great movie. Vex,
Yes, it is.
favourite movie?
I can't pick one.
It's difficult.
First
I
one that
can't
pops
pick
into
one.
your mind?
Old Boy, then. The original Korean one.
Probably.
Young Frankenstein for me.
Blue Boy?
The Dark Knight.
Nice. Swappers?
Oh, you always ask me this, and I can never answer concisely. It's either Alien/Aliens or the Star Wars trilogy. Don't make me pick one film.
Okay.
What was
that's fair.
the second one? What was it?
Star Wars
Star Wars
trilogy.
trilogy.
What was? Okay. That's a lot of movies there for your favorite movie.
Oh yeah.
Cheeky.
I think with me, I like Star Trek. Paul Verhoeven. Oh, I don't know. Maybe if I was
Hard to pick one.
if it was one film only, either Starship Troopers or RoboCop.
Yes, dude. I was just thinking about RoboCop, but I had to go with Dark Knight. I'm right there with you, man. RoboCop.
I
is
watched
one of my
RoboCop
favorite movies.
recently.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that's such a good film. So much fun.
We'll do the chat while
Gory
here
as
you go.
hell.
Look, here you go.
Yeah, right on.
Goodfellas,
Hell yeah.
2001.
I was going to watch that yesterday because
Yeah.
I love that film. I haven't seen it for a while. I'll watch that next week.
Here you go. Matrix. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Apocalypse.
Classic.
Is there any more? Because my chat is just fucking doing stupid things. Here you go. Rollerball.
That's a lie. You're lying. Good job.
Is Rollerball the one
Blade
where
Runner.
Halle Berry got
Yeah.
naked?
Isn't that the one where
James Caan.
Ellen Page existed?
Yeah.
Or was that one?
Oh, I think that's
no,
a different movie, actually.
That was like those girls all dressed in roller derby gear. wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one was called "Where Are My Balls?" I
The
forget.
meaning of life.
Well, she hasn't got any, has she? Here you go. Jim D. Star Wars. Okay, right. We're going to move on because I'm being told let's not get bogged down. Cavill.
Oh, that's my Twitter account again.
Cavill.
Killer.
Stalking you, man.
Pissing all the wrong people off. Vex, what's this story about for the peeps at home?
Essentially because now that like Cavill's out, and I guess maybe this is to kind of drum up more positive stuff about season 3 coming out soon. But now the showrunner, who is a woman, is saying that he is problematic because
The way you
he
said
was
that.
really when they announced that they were making a Witcher adaptation, because he's a video game nerd himself, he was really excited about this, and he told his agent like, "Hey, like I really let me meet with the showrunners. Like I really want to talk to them. I really want to see what the video like." Basically, he was really on board with the project, and he just wanted to make sure that he was getting the full experience out of it, more or less. And I guess like on top of that, it was also like, what is the vision they have for the adaptation kind of deal? And then this dumb bitch is like, oh, he was really annoying by being so committed to the role that we cast him for, essentially.
I
That's
saw this tweet and I didn't know it was you. I was just like, I was laughing my ass off. I was like, that is so fucking funny.
I don't understand.
Part got me.
You know when you just get the feeling that Cavill is probably a proper professional somewhere deep down.
Mm-hmm.
And
He
because
should be the new Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
He
because
should be
these
big.
people
He
are just fucking grifters
Crazy.
in positions.
He's staying
Yeah.
quiet throughout all of this
Yeah.
is the other thing, which I think is just incredible. That just puts him worlds above everyone else, because these days every actress, actor, producer, whatever is ready to spill the beans on anything, and he's keeping his composure, which I really
He's a
admire
class
about him.
act. He's a class
He
act.
is, yeah.
And didn't James Gunn say or
you
someone
go.
said that James
DOA.
Gunn was talking to him about doing some new character in the DCEU.
Yes, like I don't know who the character is, but there are also talks that he was possibly approached for a Frankenstein role, or like Frankenstein's monster, which is a weird one. But this show
'cause he
now,
doesn't
so
say
originally, no, doesn't say anything. But this show was originally supposed to be good for 7 seasons, and now they've dropped it down to 5 seasons with Henry leaving.
Well, as I said,
that's ambitious.
Here you go. As I said,
That's
Sheep
optimistic.
Burger. This show is dead on arrival. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I actually thought the first season was terrible. I know a lot of people don't agree on that, but
I couldn't get past the first episode. I honestly
yeah,
couldn't.
it's sloppy.
It just awful. I couldn't do it. No matter how much I like Cavill, I can't watch this rubbish.
That's the only reason I kept watching, to be honest, for Henry Cavill.
Here you go, Hal Murray 9000 Pub Motherboard. The world has become too woke a place for someone like Cavill.
Just too damn white in this day and age.
Too much of a gentleman in this day and age, I should say. Yeah.
I think he's just got to be the unluckiest actor.
He's got the shittiest agent ever.
Yeah.
He should be
I would fire his
because
agent
Arnold Schwarzenegger. He should be out there doing all these massive projects, huge action film. He was great in Mission Impossible. He was great in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. He should be Bond. He should be Superman. He should be all the things, because this guy should be just everywhere. And in a way, it's kind of nice that he isn't, because we don't get sick of him. But he's been so badly mistreated, and he's clearly one of us. He's clearly a very enthusiastic fan of culture and media, games and films.
Professional.
He is a professional. He's committed. He's serious. That's why they don't like him, because he is very finicky about details. He wants to get it right.
He's an actual
and these
actor.
People don't care. Yeah.
He was like 37 years old, dating a 19-year-old. He got that fucking dog in him. Like he's all
well,
lucky
even
bastard.
for the James,
it's because he was connected.
The James.
It's because he that connection with Gina Carano. That's why.
Yeah.
Probably.
The James Bond thing, though, they wanted him to be Bond after Pierce Brosnan, but he was too young, so that's why they put Craig in there. So that he was in the running at a point.
Yeah,
wrong time.
I get the feeling that if he doesn't get the Bond role, he will be called the unluckiest actor ever.
Oh, they're making a Bond a woman, though. Didn't you hear?
Well, they killed Bond, so I don't care anyway.
Yeah. There's no male Bond going forward.
Well, you know what the problem is here? He's a handsome, chisel-jawed, white alpha male.
There you go. Look, there you go.
Who is caring, who has a sensitive side and an intelligent side. He's handsome. He's good-looking. He's got it all. They hate him. They hate him for that. He represents absolutely everything they despise in Hollywood. It's sick. It's twisted. It really is, and it's racist.
Nothing.
And it's sexist.
Nothing gets the ladies wetter, McPherson. I'm with you there.
No, and hey, that's fucking cool.
Hey.
We were talking about Jenna Ortega yesterday. Like for men, I was just I love Jenna Ortega, right? But that was my point. Was like men and women. Sex sells. I will go see something with Jenna Ortega in it because she's so fucking hot. and
April
women want to go see
it's
Henry
not going to bring
Cavill.
in people.
Stop talking over it.
And I'm just like, why the fuck are we making everyone fat and ugly? Like, who wants to see that? If you are fat and ugly, you can see it every day in the mirror. Why do you want to go to the fucking movie theater and see it on the screen?
McPherson has it down.
Okay, I'm going to post that. I'm not going to read it.
I am with you, McPherson. I am with you.
You are so naughty, McPherson. Naughty.
F. McPherson got it fucking bad.
Naughty.
She's like this every week.
I know, naughty.
I love her. I love her.
Okay.
Marry me, sweetheart.
Oh my goodness.
I think she's already married. Shall we move on? Cavill.
I'm married too, and I'd still do the same.
Cavill. I'll just say the ladies love him. The men want to be like him.
No, the men want to. Yeah, well, so I'm doing.
Yeah,
the men will go gay for him.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That handsome.
Anybody
What is
see
it?
this? They're making, apparently, I don't know if it's true, a spin-off from Wakanda Forever, or whatever it was called. Golden City.
Yeah, this is not the first time I've heard this, so I'm pretty sure this is true.
Does anybody
good
want
luck.
to talk about this?
Don't
Why are
care,
they
to be
making it?
honest.
Yeah, we go, look,
Why?
bogged.
Bogged.
Let's not get bogged down in this. Move on.
I actually really appreciate that your chat tells you when to shut the fuck up, essentially. It's good, though. Like, there's people keeping you accountable, so it's very good.
Yeah, the chat controls the stream in a way.
Direct action. Yeah.
Here you go. Look, no, sorry, the chat's moving like I can't fucking keep up. MG, moving on. Yeah, I think nobody cares. Utter dog shit. They had the chance. They fucked it.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Calcon.
Blew it.
Yeah. R.I.P. Calcon. Fuck Disney.
Bye, buddy.
Yeah. Okay, so Oscars. The Guardian in the UK said Top Gun should win Best Picture.
I wonder why he would say that. Is it because he was in the movie?
I actually haven't
Mr.
seen Top
Val
Gun
Kilmer,
Maverick,
yes.
so
If this wins, I would be happy. I don't think it's going to win. Again, I think Everything Everywhere deserves it. But I wouldn't be mad if this won. It's just not going to, though. It's not what the Academy's all about.
Gave it his blessing. He gave.
it's too white to win.
Yep.
Well, that's
Yeah,
true. Yeah. What am I talking about? I forgot.
Vex,
I forgot we're like
Vex,
the
have you
enemy
seen
somehow.
Top Gun Maverick?
I haven't yet, no.
You should watch it. It's incredible.
I've been on a Tom Cruise binge the last couple of weeks, so after I get through all the Mission Impossibles, then Top Gun Maverick is there.
Here you go. Oh, chat's moving so fast. I cannot keep up. Gui Ramos. I miss Val Kilmer. Doc Holiday Hearts. Here you go. String of B.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah. John Z. Or is it John Z? 8 out of 10 for Maverick.
Too many hetero white men.
Yeah, Maverick is a great film. The only decent film that we got, really, last year. It's not going to win, though, is it, boys?
For the one human being in this that has cynic in his name, I actually thought there was a reasonable amount of films that were of decent quality last year. Like, I was thinking...
Mass audience.
I was having a conversation this morning about, like, hey, remember the 1990s? And then you compare it to now. Like, there weren't as many options because there were only so many channels in the movie theater. And they have so many streaming services and everything. So I don't, like, obviously the ratio's diminished as far as quality versus shitty because there's just an abundance of crap floating around. But all the same, I wonder if really, like, how many good movies come out in 1990, you know, as compared to 2023? It might be the kind of the same amount. It's just that we're inundated
but look at the
with
80s.
bullshit.
Look at the 80s.
about the
You were spoiled. I mean, if you look at, let's say, Paul, 1984, I mean, you had, like, how many hit films that were absolute classics? Tons and tons of them. I mean, you're spoiled for choice. It was a smorgasbord. Right. Nowadays, it's
nice
like, you might get one decent movie every few months.
Yeah. And again, that was just like a thought. I'd have to go back and actually look because maybe 1990, as my example, was a fucking banger year. And it was just like, you know, quality after quality.
Wasn't that?
But just assumably so. I just thought it's probably the overabundance of product that we have that makes us feel like we're not getting anything good.
Dick Tracy was 1990, wasn't it?
I think every year was a banger. There'd be some. There were more good films than bad. Put it that way. And they didn't have. I think what's fucking it up is it in inverted commas the message. That's what's fucking everything up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Stream killer. Okay,
You're not wrong.
Top Gun deserves to win some form of Oscar at least.
Yeah, it better win something.
What else is it nominated for?
Is Lady Gaga's performing the theme tune, isn't she, at the Oscars? So possibly it might win Best Song. Possibly.
I have no clue.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Right, so the guy does his own stunts, flies his own planes, and then the song wins.
And saves Hollywood, yes.
Yeah, right.
And then saves Hollywood.
Okay,
Toxic white male.
Yeah, how dare he?
How
apparently
dare you
he's
save
not,
Hollywood?
Yeah. One of the guys in the chat said he's not at the Oscars, he's in UK shooting Mission Impossible.
Like a fucking boss.
Yeah.
Good man.
Okay.
Good.
He's a nice guy, I have to say.
Okay. Hogwarts Legacy game. Obviously the boycott worked.
The opposite world.
Vex, did you play the game?
I'm actually not a Harry Potter fan, so I didn't bother with this one. But I did follow just the quote unquote controversy around it. Yeah. I know why J.K. Rowling is considered a enemy of the LGBT alphabet community. I don't know. Thinking that a game is going to kill you is the stupidest shit I've ever heard, and it's the definition of just creating a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Like, seriously, if you're committing suicide over a video game about wizards, you probably deserve to do that.
Very naughty.
Jesus.
That's what people were saying was going to happen with this, right? Is that they were, this game is going to cause millions and millions of trans people to, we're not supposed to say that, unlife themselves, okay?
Yeah.
There aren't millions and millions of them.
That's what the claim was, right? Seriously, like you have no problems if this is the reason that you decide to unlife yourself.
Here you go, John Z, or is it John
Literal
Z?
genocide.
Demonetized, yes.
Sorry about that. Sorry, I forgot. I took the top off and
unalive yourself.
Oof.
It is just, I don't know where do these people get this bullshit from?
They are
is it me?
Chemically unbalanced.
Yeah, I think that has something
Literally.
to do with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's playing havoc with their, whatever.
I think so, yeah. Plus, a Twitter account is deadly, isn't it?
And plus, if you believe in the radical political belief, like if your entire identity revolves around a political entity, you're not really compos mentis of the facts of reality.
And the more you do it, the more you want to do it. Moving on. Okay. Let's see what's next. And finally.
Wow. Yay.
It's fucking camera.
This is for the Brits. There's been an ongoing dispute between the creators. I think it was for the rights of Red Dwarf. And it looks like they've finally settled their case. So hopefully we're going to see some more Red Dwarf.
Yeah, but is it going to be like season 5 of Red Dwarf, or is it going to be like season 20 million of Red Dwarf? It wasn't funny for a number of years. Let's be honest.
Really?
I think the last outing was relatively good.
Had its moments. I
think when they split up, the comedy element went and the science fiction element stayed. That's how I saw it.
Yeah.
Really.
There you go.
I'm glad that they've sorted it anyway.
Yeah.
Grant was the funny one.
Grant was the funny one. Red Dwarf stopped being funny after season 8.
I'd say season 7. Really.
Okay.
6 was the peak, I think.
Swap, is you a Red Dwarf fan?
He doesn't like British comedy, remember? Oh no, not Swappers, mean movie. Sorry.
Oh, you asked me something? What?
I might just go
Moving
home
on.
and leave you lot to it. Swappers, you a fan of Red Dwarf?
I was the first 8 years, is it something like that? And then it kind of, you just lost it. I don't know what happened. It just stopped being funny, I think. And then I never really got back into it. Yeah, it's a shame. That's obviously the reason then. Always wanted a movie. I think a movie would have been great.
Yeah,
with,
I know.
them firing on all cylinders. It would have just been amazing. But if this is exciting if it means that we're going to see a return to form. But if we're not, we're just going to get more mid stuff. Then I don't.
But aren't they making 2 different series or something? Like they splitting into? Yeah, it's confusing. I'm not sure what's happening.
Maybe one of the creators will take maybe the publishing stuff or the audio tapes or something, and the other one will take the kind of TV series. I don't know. It just seems a little bit ambiguous, doesn't it?
Yeah. As long as they're both working on the same thing, then that's fine.
Separately.
Vex, have you seen Red Dwarf? Do you know what it is?
I have not. I've heard of it in passing, but I've never watched it.
You should.
Yeah, I think you should check it out. I think you'd like it.
Okay.
You get you've got a really good sense of humor, so I think you'd really appreciate it.
Thank you.
blushing.
As an honorary Brit.
Yeah.
I have family in England, so
there you are.
There we go.
Movie, not your thing at all. Yes.
I don't even know what the fuck is going on.
Okay, we'll leave it at that
Out.
Here you go.
I don't love you anymore.
Pleasant Valley Picker, CA. Red Dwarf is a classic. It is. Here you go. Annie Mouse. Get it watched. Vex. Get it watched.
Will do.
Okay. I think that is it, folks. I would say please consider donating to the channel, but some people have been very, very generous, so I do thank you for that.
Quick thing, you spelled description wrong in your last slide.
There's spell check, Brownie.
Sloppy. Wow, grammar, Yahtzee. Wow.
Sorry, no, I was like, wait a second, that doesn't look right.
How do you think you are coming in here correcting people's English, you Canadian?
I think that's the channel finished, folks. 126 episodes was a good run. Vex fucked it up, everybody.
You know what?
Brilliantly.
This is the episode, though, where you had a woman on and you had a non-white woman on. So, should YouTube be like, oh, you can't say this, you can just say, oh, but wait. It's both racist and sexist for you to remove this. Because of this.
Our shield.
Fucking hell, that is 5D.
She's the anti-Gavin McGuinness, unless she, pees on the table now. I mean, that
but only funnier.
This is our 40 chest. You can't fucking demonetize us.
Yeah. Yes. I think that is it, folks. Chat. I forgot to say good evening, chat, at the very beginning, so I'll say hello, chat. We can see you.
You're cursed.
Chat. You are the fucking best. I think I've got the best chat.
You do. You really do.
Guys, you were on fire tonight, especially F. McPherson, Naughty Girl. So, chat, you're wonderful, but you know that. Okay, I will thank the guests from the bottom. Swappers, cheers, pal. Appreciate this.
Thank you. Thanks to everyone else on the panel as well. It's always a good laugh. Really appreciate it. And welcome, Vex. It's been wonderful. Thank you very much.
Next, old Blue Boy himself, Movie Cynic.
Woo! 2 days straight of this, I have had so much fun this weekend. Thank you. Had a blast.
Sort your camera out.
I will. I'm gonna fucking throw it out the window. That's what I'm gonna do.
Well, could you throw it my way, please? Here he is. Is it the Avenger of Twitter? What did I call you earlier?
Apparently, yeah. I think
the
that was
governor of Twitter.
Here he is.
Controls that place, baby.
The governor of Twitter. Problem being.
Hey, thanks for having me. And McPherson is right. Mr. Brown ain't white by definition.
Yep, and your
Very
name
true.
is offensive because we know you picked it.
Well, I didn't, but I was given it. But anyway. And last, but by no means least, first time on the channel, and she has been fucking outstanding. Vex Electronica, everybody.
Hey!
Thank you for having me. I actually had a blast here, so thank you for the invite.
We've had
we just had a good time.
Fantastic energy, yes.
This was a great time.
The chat love you, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
F. McPherson,
Thank
my camera's actually blonde. It's not grunge.
Your camera's doing the Batman thing right now. It's adapting to that cinematography.
You know, there's just so many fucking naughty people in the chat tonight. I'm not going to read that, but there you go.
Dang.
I know. I think that is it, folks. We are hopefully back Wednesday with Ruin Johnson doing the Mandalorian.
Yes.
Roast. Let's hope it gets better, but I doubt it. So on 2 hours 40, we're out of here. If we don't see you Wednesday, we're back at the weekend. Have a great week, everybody. I think that is it. I need to have a cold shower now. Bye.
Bye.